the first topic.
Okay. Oh, wait, we're already live.
Okay.
Okay, hey, everybody.
Hey.
Here.
Hey.
And Amelia's here and Chessa's here. So we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to go through what everybody's drinking. So you guys start. Well, I think Chessa should start because she definitely has the coolest combo.
Yeah, she does.
I am drinking Space Otter American Pale Ale. It is quite good out of a champagne glass.
Yay!
We're so classy.
I worked really hard on it.
It's got a good head on it, so that's good.
The head is all that matters.
All right, we're already being dirty. I'm sorry. Okay, well, Amelia, what are you drinking?
Okay.
I'm not dirty.
Who is next? Attention,
Amelia.
off of Chessa. Somebody else.
Amelia, what are you drinking?
I'm having a Smirnoff Ice Screwdriver. I have backup here too.
So do I.
I have the entire bottle.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Nice.
I'm super classy, and I'm drinking a Moscow Mule out of the cup that my work husband stole from Applebee's. So that's happening now.
You're such an apostate.
I do. I steal. I smoke. It's bad.
You're one of Satan's children, that's for
I
sure.
am.
Stealing smoke.
And we have an apostate by association in the chat. My best friend Dana is being super supportive. I love you. She wrote apostate by adopted love here. That was sweet.
It is sweet.
So I'm going to try to control the chat, and Amelia is going to control the somewhat interview.
Everything else.
Everything else.
Find the comment part of it.
If you click, it should say live chat. Oh, Stacy's here. Hey, Stacy.
Let me see if it's
Hi, Stacy.
Hello. Sorry.
Oh, I'm getting glimpses of myself when I look at the phone. That's not good.
That's scary.
All right, so we're going to work on no profile shots. So I'm just going to...
Oh, Lord.
All right.
This is crazy. I'm watching this through the YouTube channel while we're doing the video, and it's totally off sync.
Off. Yeah.
Is the voice off sync too?
Yes, completely.
Oh, man.
Great.
That's okay. I'm just trying to keep up with a little bit of the chat because I wanted to back up because in the very beginning of the chat earlier today, I wanted to mention that JW Suicides was on, and she wanted to ask, because we were doing Ask the Apostates, she wanted to ask Chessa Rose, what governing body member did you want to attack with the chainsaw?
I think we can all guess, but...
Yeah. You know, for legality purposes, I'm not going to answer, but I think like,
just in case something mysterious happens.
yes. Don't watch this video.
I thought we were going to save that for the never have I ever portion of this.
Yes.
Never have I ever attacked a governing body member with a chainsaw.
Apostate Coffee Break said we're coming in clear. Oh, damn.
Awesome.
File again. All right, we haven't had anything to drink yet. This is going to get bad.
Real quick.
So I just met Chessa didn't meet her, but we were friends not that long ago. So we can kind of, I'm not sure if everybody knows Chessa's story.
How do you start that off? How do you start off a story like that?
I was born in a cold January.
I was born into being a witness, and I was actually raised, obviously, with my family. My dad was an elder. My mom was like a pioneer for several years before that they had me, and they ended up moving to a smaller congregation in Illinois from Chicago, and that was where I was raped when I was 5. And so from that, there was a lot of shunning my dad did end up calling the police with my case because the doctor who checked me out after, basically I went home and I told my parents at 5 years old what happened. They took me to a doctor. He checked me out, said, yes, this happened. And then my dad ended up telling the police, so that happened, but nothing was done. It got shushed up after that. And so we moved around several times after that. We moved to Arizona, Missouri, etc. But that always seemed to kind of follow wherever we moved. And then when I like throughout my life, I would hear stories about my abuser being at conventions. There were times that we would like run into their family when we go back to visit because I had family in small town Illinois. And so like I basically tried to get past it. I started pioneering at 14. I left school in the 4th grade, and I just basically went full-fledged into the truth and just did whatever I could to try and, you know, be the best that I could be and kind of overcome that. But eventually I ended up finding out more information about that case. And that's when I contacted a lawyer, and they looked through my case. But because of certain things, they weren't ready to pounce on it yet. And then beer. And then I ended up seeing David Gambacorta's from the Philadelphia Inquirer. He wrote in Reddit, I think it was a Reddit thing. He wrote that he was looking for stories. And at that point, I didn't know if anything would honestly come of it, you know. And so I just basically wrote him my story. And from there, it got published by the Inquirer. And now a lot has happened since then. So, and the other key thing that was brought out in the Philadelphia Inquirer, and why JW Suicides probably asked that question in the first place, is Stephen Lett was wrote by my father. Stephen Lett actually brought my father into the truth. He was the original person to witness to my dad before he was a governing body member even, and it was in that area of Illinois. And so he brought my dad into the truth, and he always referred to Stephen Lett as my spiritual grandfather, because through Stephen Lett, here I am, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of a weird situation, and I'm still, you know, looking into how to progress with everything now that everything's out there. But there's been a lot of awesome response and support, and there's been a lot of new opportunities as well. So I'm super, super excited about that part of it.
Takes a lot of courage, Chessa.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, honestly, like my entire life, I had tried to tell various people about it, and whatever congregation we moved to, we would talk to elders when we moved into that congregation. I'm pretty sure it was on our cards, you know, the cards that move with you, but that's never been verified. All I know is that I've talked to a lot of elders about it, and I've also talked to a lot of other people in the congregation. And actually, the year I started pioneering was the year that Barbara Anderson's story came out on Date One.
Wow.
So I was going door to door as a first-year pioneer, and people were saying, well, there's rapes in the congregation. And I was saying, well, I know, but
wow,
you know, but you can, and then I would just witness. And now I feel really bad about it because I didn't know at the time what I was doing, you know, but you know, you get so heavily indoctrinated. That was what I thought the right answer was at the time. So
I'm so glad you're awake.
Yeah, I am too. So.
Incredible. Wow. Wayne said, I'm so sorry that happened to you, Chessa. You are so brave to bring light to this.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm hoping that, you know, one thing for me is starting pioneering at that young. The main thing that I've always wanted to do is help other people. And if I had not been a pioneer, I probably would have gotten into being a paramedic or becoming a counselor or something to that extent. So now that I have this out there, my main focus is just to do whatever I can with my situation now and with the publicity that I have had to be able to help others to use their voice and to come out and to not feel so scared about it. So hopefully I'll be able to do that in the future.
That's incredible. Isn't it amazing that, like, I never felt like I was really helping people when I was a pioneer, but now we feel like we're actually helping people.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, as a pioneer, what's the end goal? You know, you bring people in and hopefully you help their lives and benefit their families. But after that, there's really not much that you do, I guess.
The
But
only
then-
hope of benefiting their families would be, in the way I felt about it, would be in paradise, because it didn't seem so happy then to me either.
True. It's very true. And it seemed like the people that I had studying, it would become more of an issue, like with their family. Like when they were studying with me, I'd see like the divide start to happen, and, you know, their family would be tugging with them. And, you know, that's the opposite in this case when you're dealing with people who are coming out. I mean, the witness side of it, they do go against it, but you're able to help them actually come out and learn how to accept themselves and, you know, find new friends and find happiness in the great big world that there is, not just a small organization. So,
of conditional love, like
exactly
conditional love. And then, you know, it was dependent on if they studied, got baptized, all of that. You could drop a hat, like just like that.
Yeah.
Melissa's on.
Hey, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
So you've got a ton of tattoos, so I'm guessing you have been out for a little bit.
I actually got, I left in like 2015. I left in like September-ish, August, September. I got my first tattoo that Christmas.
That's
I've
awesome.
been wanting tattoos ever since I was a little girl, even as a witness. And I would like beg my mom. I'd be like, please, please, please. So, and even when I was a pioneer, I would still kind of smart off about it when I was a teenager and be like, really? You know? So once I came out, I just went full Monty with it.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Do you guys have any?
I have 4.
Oh.
And I want a lot more.
Yeah. When did you get your first one?
I got my first one. I think I was out for 2 years.
Cool.
Yeah. But then it's so addicting.
Yeah.
Keep getting more.
I know. If I had the money or whatever, I got this one done right before I got pregnant, and it's supposed to have like flowers and a lot more stuff to it. So once I get some more money in and stuff like that, I definitely plan on filling it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Both of my daughters have like a Pinterest board full of all their tattoos that they want.
Awesome.
Like I'm raising them so right. Oh, Joe's on here too. Oh, everybody wants to see all our tattoos. Well, I'm not going to turn around. So.
My first one was on my chest, so I'm probably not going to show that one. But I'll show you this one. This is my dog that passed away.
Oh.
His name is Silas, and I got this one done I think 2 months after he passed away. Yeah. And then I have a shark one.
That's awesome.
Right here, it's a shark tooth. And then I have my snake, and then I have a skull with tree branches and stuff like that.
Very good. I love it. Did you say you had any, Amelia?
No, I don't have any yet.
Yet.
You don't want to put a bumper sticker on a Bentley? Is that the issue? Okay, so what was your actual like waking up moment?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard to pinpoint. I went through a really weird time, and I'm not sure if it was MS or not, but basically like I was in a really abusive relationship. And so I ended up like having really weird health issues, and I ended up at bedridden for like 6 to 8 months. And it looked like symptoms of MS. But because of that, like my entire life to kind of escape everything, I'd try to keep myself busy. And then when that happened, I couldn't be. And so, you know, I'd spend all day on the computer, and then I just started looking. And I think like earlier in my life, like especially when I was a pioneer, I would have Wiccan studies, I would have Muslim studies that would bring up some really good points. And I'd go home and I'd look it up on the Watchtower CD, and it didn't have that much information. So I'd look online. And then the more I looked online, I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't match up, you know? Wow. And I'd also have studies that were Wiccan or that were Muslim. I'd take them information that was like from the 1950s, because that's all the CD had on it at the time. And they'd get really offended, and they'd quit studying based on the literature that I would give them. So that kind of cognitive dissonance then versus when I got older, I was around 23 to 25 when I got sick. And then I started researching. I went on Reddit, obviously. RxJW was amazing. John Cedars was amazing. And there's a guy on YouTube, XJW Missionary or something like that. And he was the one who talked about the Hitler issue and about Rutherford, I think it was, writing Nazi Germany. And when I heard that information, I was just like, what? And that was kind of like my breaking point. I was just like, what is wrong with this religion? What's going on? So I mean, it's funny because you would think going through what I went through as a kid, that would be the waking up point. But it wasn't. It was more information as I got older. So
yeah, because when you're a kid, like you just follow suit with what your parents say is acceptable, and so once you got older, you were able to change your mind around. It's amazing. As you're going to the Kingdom Hall, you're like thinking one way in this circle, and then once you stop, it's like a normal thought.
Right. You start to. I think it's the same as an abusive relationship. Once you get out, or at least emotionally distance yourself enough to get a perspective, then you start to kind of be like, this isn't so right.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems like the three of us have all of that in common, having very abusive relationships, kind of, or the reason why we stopped. King of Fader says Satan's internet strikes again.
Yes.
That's incredible. Oh, XJW Chica said, oh, is the video stalling? Oh, and Sour Blaze Hayes said that too. Her internet's super slow. Is anybody else having trouble?
Let me ask.
I glitched a minute there. Somebody answer. Maybe it is because nobody's answering it. Oh, Apostate Coffee Break says season. Oh, Faithful Slave said, wowza, look at all these classy ladies. Well,
how's it going?
Parker, that was before you heard what we're drinking. So
it is classy when you drink it out of a champagne glass.
That is super. And a stolen Ruby Tuesdays mug.
Yes.
So it looks like we're getting mixed. Yeah. Don't tell everybody. I have a whole it looks like a mix. Like some people are saying they're having trouble. Some people are saying it's fine. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I feel like I've been doing all the talking, Amelia. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I enjoy it. It's good.
It's your turn for questions.
I get the easy job. So
yeah, you're like, I'm just going to sit here.
Dead silence. I just get to sit here.
Hey, Trisha. Trisha's on the live stream now, too.
Hey, Trisha.
Hi, Trisha.
Well, we were going to ask about what your future plans on with your great apostasy work.
I can't say much about it, but there is a protest next month that I'm planning. And I'm also looking for people who are interested in being a part of it. It's going to be in the area of Pennsylvania. So if anybody's interested, contact me about that pronto. And I'm planning on giving more information out as it gets closer to the date, but right now it's kind of hush hush. So
it's exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah. It's going to be something a little bit different than what's been done. I think, it's been so inspiring seeing what happened in Canada, and I'm super excited for some of the other ones that are up and coming, like the one in London. But I think this one's also going to be pretty great. So I'm excited to see who comes out, and anybody is welcome to attend when the date is released and add more bodies to the event as well. So
it's going to be incredible. I'm 99% sure I can go.
The other thing I'm doing that I might as well talk about is right before I talked to David Gambacorta, I was thinking about what to do with my situation because it always bugs me. And I decided to write a book, and it's a collaboration of a bunch of different people writing in stories, poetry, songs. And I'm even looking to do an art thing where I showcase survivors' art. And it doesn't only have to be XJWs. It's for anybody who's been controlled by a high control organization or been silenced by their abuser. So anybody who's interested in submitting stories or artwork or anything, I'm all into self-expressionism. So if you express yourself, and especially if it's in a creative, artistic way, then I'd love to see it. I think that that's one of the most powerful forms of activism. And I think that it will go a long way in also inspiring others to come out and to tell their stories and to get justice for what they went through as well. So
that sounds like it's going to be incredible. I like the idea that you're including art.
Yeah, I love art. And I mean, one thing I saw with this past inauguration, no matter what way you feel about it, was the art. And it was very powerful. And I think right now it's a very artistic time. Punk is coming back. So anybody who's punk rock can appreciate that. But there's been amazing artwork just in the last 2 years. So I'm really looking to see from the XJW community if we can really come up with some powerful pieces and maybe showcase those and find homes for them in different galleries and create a dialogue publicly. I want to get the public more involved. I think that people like Barbara Anderson have been incredibly awesome at doing that and creating a public discussion. But I think that art is another way to do that. And I think that it should be more utilized than it is now. So
that's amazing. I like that idea. And speaking of Barbara Anderson, you got to meet her, right?
Yes. I had actually spoken to Barbara over the phone for like 2 years beforehand. My dad actually was the first person to reach out to her, and her and him became friends. And then he told her about me, and then she contacted me actually, and then we started speaking. And so she's a wonderful human being. I mean, anybody who's around Barbara, she's like got so much pep. You get like this dose of energy anytime you're in her presence. And so I absolutely love her. I love everything she does. I'm a super fan of Barbara.
I really want to meet her. She's like definitely a goal.
Oh man.
I really fangirl.
Yeah. I really hope you get to. She's just, and it's funny because I lived at the time like an hour and a half away from her. But for like 2 years, like we talked, but we didn't meet up. And so the first time I met her was at the Capitol in Harrisburg when I went for the press conference, and she was there. And so that was the first time we saw each other. And it was kind of like this momentous, like we'd been talking and we hadn't seen each other. And it was just like, it was awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry, a really loud truck just drove by.
I was wondering, it sounded like a motorcycle. I was like,
I mean,
a biker coming on?
Oh, it's just my biker gang.
Dude, apostate biker gang.
That would be great.
Yeah.
What would the name be? Somebody think of something good really quick.
The Charlie's Angels. Let's be the Health Angels.
We're the No New System Angels.
Why not just call ourselves the Rejects?
The No Hopes.
That's awesome.
The mentally diseased.
The mentally diseased angels.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we just came up for a better name for our show.
Oh,
that's incredible.
I can see a couple of JWs out there being like, I know it.
The group or the chat is really liking the art idea about art. My best friend is actually an art therapist, and she did an amazing art show on how it feels to have panic disorder.
Oh wow,
that's what it was, Dana. But she did a whole bunch of pictures of what it feels like to be mid panic attack, and it's incredible. If she won't kill me, I'll share it to everybody.
I would love to see that. Yeah,
she's the best photographer ever. So that I'm gonna make her do that again for us.
Please do, please do. I want to see them really, really bad.
And Teresa G says art therapy is right up her alley.
Awesome.
Good. Oh, Trisha knows an ex-Jehovah's Witness sculptor.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, JW Suicides. She said, love seeing the lady vibe here.
Hey, beautiful. I love her. I love when she reads articles. It tickles me. It just tickles me. She's fabulous.
Her rants like feed my soul.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, we're apostates. We're not supposed to have those, right?
Oh,
or is it the
right.
other way around? We have because
we have a soul because we used to be our soul.
yes. I don't know.
Hold on, let me get
I'm not even drunk yet.
We're getting super spiritual. So, does anybody in the chat have any questions for Chessa? We were gonna do like ask an apostate time, so we're not doing truth or dare. I already nixed that one.
Dang it.
But I did say yes to the never have I ever. So
that would be fun. Oh man.
You also said yes to the would you rather.
That's true.
See, I like would you rather better because there's no
yeah
being complicit.
Yeah. That was really good. Oh, Teresa G has the best idea. We need to do a Jehovah's Witness Get Out movie, like the movie Get Out.
Oh yeah.
My God, yeah. You know what I was thinking today, and it was really random. I was thinking, why don't we do like Broadway? Like, why isn't there a Jehovah's Witness Broadway thing? We could do like a Jehovah's Witness Get Out.
Because we'd accidentally mind control all those people, and they would convert.
That could go in so many different ways.
Oh, damn. Amelia's getting into it.
I'm opening my second one, too. It's about that time.
I'm
usually talking too much. I'm just drinking.
Usually I'm the one by the end of the hour, like, oh.
We'll see.
There are some past Vast Apostate hours that I do not take credit for. It was definitely me. No. Okay, so Apostate Coffee Break said, Chessa, what would you do if you had a governing body member in an interrogation room? Bad cop? Question mark?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, real bad cop. Yeah. Yeah.
Follow-up question, who would be your good cop?
Gosh. Are there any good cops? I mean, Barbara Anderson would honestly play a really good cop.
She would.
No, you know what? She would play a better bad cop than I would. I'd probably have to be the good cop in that situation. I'm pretty sure if she was able to do that, she would.
Oh, she would.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
JW Suicide said our Broadway show would be called Shunned.
Let's get on it.
And the whole entire 2 hours would be the audience not talking to us. That's it.
This is a horrible joke, but are we allowed to invite our families?
Yes, but they wouldn't show up, so that would be the second stage to the show.
It'll be empty. Oh. I'm crying because
I'm drinking. I'm very quiet and not funny. Ever.
I think we should have a cheers to being shunned.
Oh yes.
Because it's Shunday.
Yes, and we could never do cheers. And then somebody has to sneeze and we'll all say bless you.
Okay.
How about all at the same time? Okay, let's go. Cheers.
Right. 1, 2, 3.
Cheers. Clink.
Achoo.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Merry Christmas. Happy birthday. Oh my goodness. Oh. I think the name is Great Dane. Bridget Pfizer is a YouTuber who is using who is an artist using many different mediums. That's really cool.
Awesome.
Sorry, Stacey, she's been ransacking her house looking for a corkscrew. Oh, so Trisha wants us to talk about the game.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing a lot of talking. Why don't you two talk about that? Because you guys know more insider detail anyway.
That's all Amelia.
Well, I'm not exactly sure of the game that she was talking about. I'd have to pull it up and review the notes, but I thought it would be really cool to, I don't know if any of you have played Cards Against Humanity, but with Cards Against Humanity, they have different expansion packs, and it's a really raw, very raunchy, racy, horrible, very fun game. And I thought it would be really funny if we had an expansion pack for apostates.
Would it be called Apostates with Humanity? I think that's what we'll name it.
Or just called Heathen, the Heathen pack.
Mentally diseased edition.
Yes. But Trisha was saying it's like What the Meme. So it's like Cards Against Humanity, but you have memes.
Yeah, I haven't played that one yet, but I've heard a lot about it. Apparently everybody loves it.
Oh. JW Suicide said the game sounds like the movie Saw.
But that's an interesting twist. You could make a disfellowship edition where like you have to like answer the questions or reinstated edition where if you don't answer them rude enough, then you get reinstated. Something along those lines.
If you don't win, you get rebaptized.
I'll baptize you.
And you have to stop talking to the other members of the game one by one.
Oh. So nobody's asking questions in the group, but
How dare you?
Okay, so what was the first bad movie you saw after you were out? I'm gonna ask.
Oh God. Okay, so I can't get pulled into a judicial meeting anymore for this, but like when I was a pioneer, I loved Blockbuster, and I actually cried when they closed because the one guilty pleasure I had when I was a witness was renting R-rated movies. And at Blockbuster, as soon as you turn 16, you could rent R-rated movies. So I've been watching them for a while.
Oh, okay, so mine's really lame. You go, Amelia.
What was the first series I watched? Lord of the Rings.
Good one. That one's good. So we're all going to do a Lord of the Rings tour in New Zealand with Trisha when she gets married.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
She hasn't said yes. I'm just telling her we're doing it.
I went through a really weird phase when I was like 12 where I learned Elvish.
Oh, yeah.
It's a part of my past I hope stays buried, but I'm not mentioning it live, so it's probably not going to.
You just threw it in the fray.
Well, this IPA is really strong, actually, and I thought my beer tasted funny. I went from, what was the other one? Speed Otter to Reach Around IPA.
Oh. You should always start with a Reach Around. I'm sorry.
It's also really good. I highly recommend it.
Okay, drink more so I can tell you my movie. My first movie was The Karate Kid because I never got to see it, and I was so lame.
That is really sad.
I'm trying
I'm more for your childhood.
I loved like scary movies, so it was probably like The Grudge or something. Or The Ring. I remember The Ring coming out.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So Trisha has a really, really important question. It has a lot to do with apostasy. She said, do spanks really work? That's
Yes.
why
They do.
Sweating so bad because I'm literally wearing 12 of them right now.
Why?
To fit in this screen, I had to wear. I'm really not this funny. You guys are super drunk.
Yes, but it's kind of like a sausage tube. So the more you wear, the more things get squeezed up here and down here. So just, use Spanx wisely.
So therefore, after the wedding, it won't necessarily be very sexy while you're trying to peel yourself out of the Spanx.
And it doesn't, like, the fat doesn't go anywhere. It just puts it different places.
Yeah.
Like, you just become, instead of being an hourglass, you become a square. Like, it's just
not a cloak of invisibility.
And then you get like the sports bra uniboob, and I mean, they work.
Uniboob. See, I always got the Spanx that has the boob part open. So that it comes underneath the hair. Those are perfect. Definitely
I do the same thing.
Trisha.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm 900 years old, so I didn't know about them.
Free yourself.
Yes, free yourself. Let the ladies go. You can you can wear a bra with them.
I was about to change the channel real quick. The name to the channel. I guess I know which one's Dinah out of all of them. It's just gonna be like an hour of us laughing.
Oh shit.
Okay, so JW Suicide has a question. Am I the only one who had to send Let my used underwear?
Let's do that. Can we do that? Can we start a campaign?
Not a letter writing campaign.
Write it on the underwear.
Ooh, okay. So Teresa's question is in all caps, so I must have missed it. I'm sorry. Non-Jehovah's Witnesses have been abused by pedophiles witnessing in field service. That's an amazing question. I'm
sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I wonder how many non-Jehovah's Witnesses have been abused by pedophiles witnessing.
Oh, that is a good question.
I have no idea.
I just reposted a video today. I forgot who uploaded it, but I reposted it to my U of E page, and it's of it's some apostate, clearly, who has a camera, and he walks up to some people out in service, and he says, "Are you so and so?" And the guy says, "Yeah." And he's kind of guarded, and he says, "You mean the guy who raped a 9-year-old?" And the guy says, "No, you got it all wrong." And he's like, "Well, you need to not be proselytizing door to door since you're a convicted child, molester." And he said, "You need to go." So, I mean, if you think about it, like, that's someone who's convicted, who's allowed to go out in service. Imagine all the people who are not convicted going out.
And most of the Jehovah's Witnesses are not convicted.
Right. Well, and I mean, I used to go door to door by myself sometimes when I was growing up. And that was a danger for me. But, if you think about it the alternative way, it's a danger for other people. If someone comes to your door and says, "Hey, I'm representing this group, and I'm, a pastor or a preacher or whatever they think that we are," and then they invite you into your homes. I mean, there was a lot of kids that I studied with, and it was in the living room or whatever, but their parents were in the kitchen cooking. Like, imagine the type of access that people have to children. People just assume that because you're a Bible teacher, you're safe. So it's really, it's the opportunity.
Even neighbors of the pedophiles and so forth.
Right.
It's incredible. My ex-husband is a pedophile, and the elders completely know. And he fell in love with a married woman that worked at one of his doctor's offices, and she left her husband and took her 3 small kids, and they're now married, and they never warned her. I warned her, she didn't believe me because I'll be apostate, but so they don't even warn people that are about to get into a relationship with them.
No.
So of course they're not going to keep them from field service. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Apostate Coffee Break said, "What was your first night at the bar? What was your first night at the bar after leaving the Watchtower like?"
Well, when I met my now partner, we used to go to the bar all the time, and all I remember is it went from he was like very like the notebooky, like he would like skip quarters into the street, we danced the street and stuff. So it was very romantic when I first started going to the bar, but I also got absolutely trashed, and apparently I'm absolutely trashed. I like to pee in alleyways, so there was a lot of that. Just your typical bar experiences, but it was great. I don't do it as much now, obviously, because I have a kid. I haven't went to the bar in forever, but I loved it, really.
That's awesome.
What about you guys?
The first night I went out with a whole bunch of coworkers, and that was a bad idea. Because I drink everything like I drink water, and it's not good. And I also like to dance when I shouldn't dance ever.
Oh, we're gonna have so much fun.
Yeah. Pennsylvania is never gonna be.
Nope, the same.
What about you, Amelia?
Where'd she go?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
She muted us too. She's going to the bathroom. She's gonna Ralph and Rally. It's really cute.
How often have you went partying since you got out? Like, was it a thing for you for a while?
Yeah, I had like a good year where I pretended I was 20.
Yeah.
And I got tired.
Yeah.
And now I go to bed at 10. Oh, we got 15 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. Oh. JW asked if she could have my hair. Most definitely, if you come to the London protest, I will shave my head and you can have all of it. Oh. And Apostate Coffee Break said I have very smurfy nails. I do.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Teresa G is threatening to full Little Debbie or stuff full Little Debbie's down my throat. That sounds like a live stream, actually. I literally watch my 600-pound life, and like those are my goals.
I've never seen it.
Oh my god. It's such a good show. It's bad. Terrible. It's not good. Oh, Stacy has to run to the store for a corkscrew.
She still hasn't found it. Oh.
JW Suicide said #send let your underwear.
I'm glad she's on the underwear train. That doesn't sound right. The what underwear? I don't know.
Dana asked if you could go back and never be a Jehovah's Witness, would you? Or does that mean that would have made you stronger? No regrets. I think I would have gone back and then left when I could have gone to college. I think I would have just gone to college like I wanted to and done what I wanted to do. But I do think it made us stronger.
Yeah.
What about you?
I pretty much feel the same way. I wish that I had not been encouraged to leave school at such an early age, and I wish I hadn't pioneered at such an early age. So I wish, you know what? I don't care about me being a witness. I just wish I hadn't gotten baptized, because I think if I hadn't gotten baptized, then I could have still been strong, and still went through what I went through, but I wouldn't have had all the roadblocks.
That's the best answer. Oh my goodness. Nigel asked if I packed my luggage yet. Yes, ask Dwayne and Stacy and Parker. They were all making fun of me because I was asking in our group message if anybody was bringing a hair. Well, but I'm giving my hair to JW Suicide, so I don't need it.
Are you shaving it pre-flight or post-flight?
That's really up to her. I mean, if I land and it's humid, it's going to be disgusting and frizzy, so she might want it while I'm still in New York. Oh, sorry, Teresa, I didn't read it right. Apostate Coffee Break said, you guys should have brought JL on the show. That was actually my favorite character in the Bible, JL, because she was the only badass. That was a woman. That tent peg, that was pretty awesome.
There was actually a costume like party, which you're not supposed to have them as witnesses, but we had them. and I dressed up as her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like had the tent stake and everything.
We had that too, and I wanted to be Jezabel so bad because she was the only one with makeup in the Bible.
True.
She painted her eyes, so.
Yeah.
Oh, Amelia's back.
Welcome back.
She's still muted. You're muted. Unmute. I don't know sign language for that one.
I know sign language. I don't even know how to say that. Turn it off.
She's stuck.
Your microphone is.
There we go.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
I can get my mouse to work.
So everybody shared their first going out drinking story. You got to share yours.
I woke up 12 years ago and I don't even remember the first time I went out drinking.
All right, Amelia, wait a second. No tattoos, no nights out drinking. Are you an undercover Jehovah's Witness?
No, I'm a single mom. I have no money for tattoos.
That's true.
We should start a tattoo fund for you.
I have a jar. It's halfway full. I might have $50 in it so far.
Oh, Micah XJW Biker said, "I love you guys."
We love you.
We love you too.
Your crash or not really the crash, your protest during Watchtower Victims Memorial Day was incredible.
It was amazing.
Oh, we skipped Trisha's question. Hold on. I gotta scroll. What was the first music album you guys bought that would have been gasped at for a Jehovah's Witness?
Godsmack.
Appropriate.
Still one of my favorite.
Creed. But they were
yeah.
Shut up.
Oh my God, you just admitted to that?
I did.
I'm taking that out of the show.
Evanescence or Pink. Those were like my main ones.
I love Pink.
I love Evanescence. She's my girl. I want to look like
Those were my jams when I was a 12-year-old.
Yeah. So. Oh, I'm not going to say how old I was when that came out. I wasn't 12. I can actually say my mom was super, super into music. So we had like explicit albums and stuff. My mom had an amazing vinyl collection. So we always had like borderline music. I remember when we weren't allowed to listen to Madonna though, that like crushed my.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I'd say her, but we always had a lot of music. The music my mom let us like walk the line on, and any National Lampoon movie, like National Lampoon's Christmas, we were allowed to watch that because she just, and I do too. Those are like my obsessions. So, oh yeah, my answer's lame again.
No, not at all.
Oh, Trisha likes Evanescence too.
What kind of vinyl did your mom collect? Like, what was she?
Well, okay. If I answer this, Dwayne and Micah can't comment. All of the Beatles, she got us super into the Beatles. She had everything from the 60s on up.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it was amazing.
My dad was like a huge collector, so he had a lot of that stuff too.
Okay, so I didn't grow up as a Jehovah's Witness. Were you not able to listen to the Beatles?
No, we were.
I'm pretty sure like during the 60s it was probably like frowned upon, but like it was fine for me. I'm sure it was fine for me.
Except for the album you play backwards and like Paul was dead, but
Oh yeah, number 9. Yeah. Helter Skelter is actually like one of my favorite albums, but that's so cliche.
Oh.
The White Album.
T just joined. Hi, T.
Hi, T.
Yeah, I feel bad for everybody who's going to be hanging out with me in London, because if there's anything Beatles related or Spice Girls, like I'm an equal.
Oh my God, Spice Girls.
Yeah, the girls bought me the Spice Girls movie for Christmas a couple years ago. That's exciting.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's what I do on a Friday night.
So my uncle was an Elvis impersonator, and I ended up being in his show, and me and my cousins played the Spice Girls, and we had our own little dance routine and everything. It's great.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I always dressed up like Cyndi Lauper, but that was...
Oh, that's horrible.
He's still my idol. I don't care.
No wonder you're being shunned.
I'm being shunned by the apostates now. I'm talking about...
We'll be shunned by both.
That could be our show, Shunned by Both.
My 19-year-old, I'm always like bugging her and telling her about apostate stuff, and she's like, I really don't care. Like, sure thing, Mom. So the other day I'm talking to her, and she's like, you know what, Mom? I'm really glad you found your people.
Oh, geez.
Apostates only understand apostates.
Apostate Coffee Break said, do you gals play any musical instruments? I always say guys because I'm from New York and everything's used guys. So I played the drums in high school. That's about it.
I played the drums and I used to play piano a long time ago.
What about you?
I don't play any musical instruments.
That's it. Kick her out.
For you.
She is a Jehovah's Witness.
She's done.
I do like to dance, though.
Yeah, I shouldn't. We went over that.
Hey, I have to take a quick short break real quick. Is that okay? I'll be back in like...
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
Ooh. Trisha plays the Brazilian percussion. And something else that I'm not going to attempt to say. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. It was very, very quiet.
I was trying to figure out what you couldn't attempt to say.
Yes, Micah, that is a Moscow Mule. I covered it earlier. My friend stole it from Ruby Tuesdays for me. So I don't have money for expensive glasses like that.
That's why you just go for the bottle. Drink out of the bottle.
Teresa G says she loves karaoke. I love karaoke too. Another thing I should not do. We're going to cover everything Maggie shouldn't go do. You
would not love karaoke if I were on the stage.
Are you that good or that bad?
Oh, I'm bad.
So my mom used to tell us we were all good singers, but in reality, one of my sisters was a good singer. And when we went to visit my one sister in Tennessee, she made us make her a CD of a Cher song. And it was so bad. I'm pretty sure they just cut my mic off. Okay, Trisha says it's Barimbo. I still don't know what that is. That is true. Apostate coffee break. Everybody's a good singer when they're drunk.
Yes.
But Maggie's not getting that drunk tonight.
Yes, we are not doing karaoke.
No,
tonight.
we're not doing this tonight. Not with any record of. Although there is that CD somewhere.
I might consider suicide again tomorrow.
If you hear me sing, yes, you most definitely will. Dwayne said say it, but I don't know what he's talking about. Teresa G said, do you smoke any herbs? Or herb? Well, that was my answer.
You don't smoke herb,
or like basil or no?
Some skunk weed.
I actually have never done that.
No kidding.
I am so lame. I'm telling you, I am so lame.
I can't wait to meet you in person, Maggie.
You never answered my we should do a Thunder over Louisville.
Yes, we need to do that, definitely.
So if any of you haven't been cool enough to live in Indiana, there is an hour. Is it an hour?
Well, it's about an hour.
long fireworks display that's usually set to music in Louisville, and it's the beginning of the Kentucky Derby, right? Like that whole.
Yes, it's the kickoff to the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, down with the tower said he's enjoying this laughter fest.
I'm back, by the way. I'm not trying to be creepy.
Yay! she just like elevated up. Oh, Chess is back. Oh, Teresa G said the apostates are going to be offering you free weed. Yeah, they did in high school too. I said,
where was I for this? I leave for 5 minutes. And then
I'm the only one that answered. I've never smoked.
Do you smoke weed, Chessa? Yeah.
All right. God,
That's probably why I'm so quiet over here right now.
God, I feel like I'm in middle school again. Oh. Lisa said I must burn the herb. I sage. Does that count? Yes, XJ biker. Lisa is correct. This is how we talk when men are not around. I think we've kept it like pretty clean.
Yeah.
You haven't heard it all yet.
No, not even close.
Oh. Oh, if I smoke weed, I would die of laughter. Or I feel like I would be the one that gets super paranoid. I'd be like the guy that eats all the weed at the beginning of Super Troopers. Yeah.
See, I think that's the main reason why people are afraid to start, you know? But like, it's not that bad. Just don't go like ham sandwich with it. Jeez.
I feel like I don't because I already am a midnight to 2 a.m. snacker. So like,
dude, you're built for it. Your body is just like.
It's great to smoke before you go for a run, Maggie.
Oh, I've heard that. I have heard that. Like I need to smoke before I run. But
honestly, it's gonna sit you on your butt for like the first like 6 weeks or so, and then after that, like you can learn how to be a person.
It's in my system for 6 weeks. You're freaking me.
No, it's just like regular.
Yeah, you got to get used to
Oh
it.
yeah, this is what I've been missing my whole life.
Well, see, here's the thing. I run every day in a cemetery.
Ooh.
That might not be a good idea. XJW Biker is saying this is really fun. So does that mean you're volunteering to be our next guest? Our next victim?
Yes.
That would be awesome. That would be a good interview.
We need a guy on the show.
Yeah.
We do.
One guy and 3 girls. Good luck.
I'm pretty sure there's a video out there.
Who's brave enough?
I'm pretty sure he's like jumping on cam right now.
It was such an honor to meet him in California. He is literally the nicest person ever. He really is.
I hope I get to meet him someday. He seems super cool.
Until I encouraged his public urination, but that's a story for another day.
No, let's hear it now.
That's definitely a story for now.
We are not waiting another day.
Well, we all got kicked out of the protest, like when we were setting up to protest. So we had to move down the street and we stopped at a fire station. And I don't know how many are watching. And everybody had to pee. So we were all like debating. It took us like 45 minutes to figure out who was going to drive it to the bathroom. And yes, and poor T had like this Mack truck that she was backing up every 5 minutes. She's the best driver I've ever seen in my entire life. All the guys were complaining that they had to pee. And I was like, guys,
you're dudes.
Beware, take advantage. And then they were all, we're at a firehouse. We're going to get arrested. And I'm like, you're fine.
Chalk it up as a story to be told.
Well, we have to end our podcast now. Stacy's back and got her corkscrew, so we might as well. Got a shiwi? What is a shiwi?
Yes, I was going to mention a shiwi. I can show you what a shiwi is.
You guys are bad influences. Smoke pot.
Oh, I can tell you, shiwi is the best invention ever made. You can pee standing up, Maggie.
I've heard of them.
That's also, besides the having the little Debbie shoved down my throat, that is a lifelong dream. Oh, I'm so lame. Great Dane said, I envy the camaraderie and support you ladies have. When I came out, there was no YouTube or social media. Actually, I'm fairly new to all of this. I think I've only been part of the Facebook, the Ex Jehovah's Witness Facebook community for about 2 years, because I didn't even know it existed until a coworker told me that they were an Ex Jehovah's Witness too, and told me to start liking everything. And that's when I found out about Warwick, and then the rest is history.
How long have you been around, Amelia?
Actually, I'll share a little bit of my story because I want to share an update anyway.
Yes.
Because not everybody knows the great news. So I was a Jehovah's Witness I started studying in 2001, and I ended up marrying a very abusive Jehovah's Witness. In 2003, I was got pregnant right away, and in 2004, I had already stopped attending the meetings, and I was suffering from extreme depression, having to be live that life. I mean, my ex was really abusive. He abused all of my children. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to be sad in this, because this is a good show, but I'll get to the really good parts first. So I was disfellowshipped in 2004. I believe it was right before my son was born. I could be wrong by about 6 to 9 months. And I don't remember a whole lot of that. But I was disfellowshipped, and then I committed suicide right directly after. And then I woke up in the ICU probably 2 to 3 days later. And when I woke up, I just realized that I attempted suicide so many times I wasn't gonna die, that like my only choice was to get better, and I was focused on getting better. Everything that I could possibly do to be the best mom that I could be for my kids, because because my ex was obviously not capable of taking care of my kids or leading them into any type of paradise that I hoped for them. This sounds so insane if you're not an ex Jehovah's Witness, but
I think we only have one. She heard my story. She's good.
And so I had left my ex-husband. I had called Child Protective Services on him. I had called the elders several times, and of course it was turned on me that I was not submissive enough, that I needed to be more submissive and be the good wife, and maybe I'll lead my husband into, being a better person, I guess is what their bullshit is. But if you've been in an abusive relationship and in the watchtower, then the typical special messages in the kingdom halls after you've gone to the elders to explain to them what's going on. And of course, that special messages is how that you need to stay with your abusive partner, and that it's better for your family, and that that going away from the organization or doing something against them, you always fear that Jehovah is not going to approve, that sort of thing. Anyway, I woke up after I had committed suicide. When I woke up in the ICU 2 or 3 days later, I was just determined to get better. I got out of the hospital. I checked myself into a different hospital. And during that time, I had lost custody of my son. And the courts had given my ex-husband, who was substantiated through Child Protective Services for abusing all 3 of my children, they gave my ex-husband custody of our son. I had 2 older children from a previous marriage, and so he got custody of my youngest son. I went back to court 2 years later after I had, improved a lot, still not where I needed to be. But petitioned the court for me to get custody. I was hoping maybe the judge just, didn't know what else to do. I completely understand. I just, attempted suicide. It's not like I did that in front of my kids by any means, but it showed an amount of instability that I understood. And so he was raised. So when I went back to court and I was denied a change in custody. And so I just right after that court case and right after that, I had decided, because let me point out that not only did he get custody of my son, but I was also only allowed 2 hours of supervised visitation with him. And in order to and my ex-husband, our abuser, the one that shaved my daughter's head and the one that would pull my kids up off of the floor by their ears and bruise them and spank them, he was the one in charge of supervising our visitation. So many times he would force himself onto me. He would bring my son over anytime I called and said, "Hey, I miss my son." And so he used him as a bargaining tool and would bring him over. But every time he brought him over, it was me being pinned up against the wall and him forcing himself on me. After we went back to court, within the next week, I took both of my 2 older children, who I still had custody of, and we moved 5 hours away into a domestic violence shelter. And I made my first steps in recovery, learning about domestic violence, learning about different domestic violence techniques like gaslighting and that sort of thing. But the most difficult part of my recovery was that I couldn't read a Bible. I'm not saying that I needed to or anything like that, but anytime someone tried to pray for me or tried to read a scripture for me, all of the JW verbiage would come out with it. So I would hear a verse and I could hear the watchtower bullshit behind it. So I had to push all of that away in order to move forward and to do what was absolutely best for me and my kids. So we moved away, and during that time, I felt like, because before I was a Jehovah's Witness, I was healthy, I was fine. I suffered a little bit of anxiety and depression. I had lost my mom and I had a pretty crazy childhood. But soon after I started studying with the Jehovah's Witnesses and before I became baptized, I was put on a lot of medication because I suffered a lot of depression and anxiety because of Armageddon coming. And I had struggled with trying to quit smoking my entire life. And I felt like I completely, without a doubt, believed that my children were going to be destroyed because of me. That unless I killed myself, then my children were going to die and they would never be able to live in, forever in paradise. So that was my motive for wanting to commit suicide. So anyway, fast forward, in a domestic violence shelter, I started to come off of all the medication. I was in an environment where we were under camera and I felt safe. I had been told I was crazy, from the time that I had been studying with the Jehovah's Witnesses. So I came off of 14 different psychiatric medications while I was gone. I came off in a pretty short amount of time. I was scared to tell the doctors that I was doing something against medical advice because I was afraid they would want to take my children away from me. Who knew what was going to happen? I wasn't even sure if I wasn't crazy because it was beat into me that I was crazy, that I was mentally diseased, that That was the only thing keeping me alive, pretty much, was the drugs that they had put me on. So fast forward 5 years later, I was off of all of the medication that I had been on. I moved back here. I started working full-time at my aunt's flower shop, which was a huge blessing for me. I could be creative and do design work. I was actually around people for really the first time in my life where I have started to develop friendships and things. And since then have just, grown the whole time. I'm raising my older two children all by myself. I've not had any support from their father. And just, getting better just year by year and successfully raising two adults. My oldest son, he's 19 years old. He's a United States Marine. His friends are like my own sons, and daughters. And my daughter herself, she graduated last year, and she has already, I think, 18 college credit hours already, dual college credit hours. She graduated with 52 credits through high school, and she has 10 flight hours in. In January 2017 is when I really woke up. That is when my youngest son, after having been raised, a Jehovah's Witness by his father, we never spoke about religion for fear that I always respected whatever he wanted to believe, and I never wanted to push on him that what he was learning was not true or anything like that. I knew how the persecution complex worked, and I was afraid it would push him away from me. So when I was with my son, we played hard. We would, go to the park and play tag. We would go on bike rides. We would go hang out with the family and that sort of thing. And then finally in 2017 in January, my son came to me and he told me, he said, "Mom, even if God is going to kill me, I don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness because I would never be able to talk to you again."
Oh my God.
That is when I really woke up, because without having been raised as a Jehovah's Witness, that was a perspective that I did not know. I could not imagine telling a child such a thing and dividing them from their parent in such a way. So from that moment on, I got on Google that night, got on YouTube. I told him, I said, "That is not true. You are not going to die, because of that." And explained to him that, there's two motivating forces in life. It's love and fear. And Jesus, as you're taught in the Bible, I'm using this as an example, is he motivated with love. And if you're not motivating with love, you're motivating with just the opposite. And just, explaining to him, different things, and just, so that he wasn't afraid. And I woke him up in a very short amount of time, and he was shocked, and like his whole world fell apart. Like, what am I supposed to believe now? Like, if that's not true, and I've been believing this my whole life, everything crumbled. And that was very difficult. It was especially difficult all the way from just shortly before that time till now, because he told me then, or soon after, he told me that he had been getting punished because I wasn't taking him to the meetings. And I had agreed to take him to the meetings. If you want to go, I'll take you. But he never wanted to tell his dad that he didn't want to go. And I definitely, honestly, I wouldn't want his father blaming him for that, because that's not, because I'm the parent. It's my responsibility. If I'm going to take him to the meetings, that's on me. If you have a problem with him not going, don't put him in the middle of it without even questioning me. He should be asking me instead of punishing him. So anyway, I woke him up very quickly. Things escalated so hard because his father started to realize that Ian was, quote unquote, choosing his mom, which was choosing Satan, and God was going to kill him, instead of choosing Jehovah, where he would have everlasting life. And so If you want to hear my whole story, it is on my YouTube channel. I don't want to take up the whole time during the show for this. It's on my YouTube channel. It's Apostate Mom. The My XJW story on there, if you'd like to listen to the whole thing. There's also a couple other things on there that are very interesting on my YouTube channel. But during this time where this heat, his father and the Jehovah's Witnesses was putting all this heat on him and telling him, you know, I don't know why you want, this is one thing that was told to my son by an 88-year-old woman was, I don't know why you want to go hang out with your mom anyway. It's got to be boring. And but in any way, you're going to have to clean up her dead body anyway when Armageddon comes and your brother and sisters.
That's horrible.
It's just a horrible things that are told to children. And it's like, as soon as I heard this, I was just like, whoa, this is what these children, when they try to get out of the organization, or if they choose it's not for them, this is the stuff they have to listen to. And it's completely amazed me from that point. I filed papers through the court and started seeking custody of my son. I found that there was very little help online, not a very much of a support system online for those that were seeking custody. I did find a couple people like Bill Bowen and Dan Johnson, where they had set up, you know, like consulting or whatever. Well, they'll come and testify, but you have to pay this an enormous amount of money. And being, you know, a single mom, I don't have money for that. So I decided that I had to become my own expert witness. And I researched all of jw.org and everything on that that would show that the organization is bad for children. And I presented that to the guardian ad litem that had been appointed under a case after my judge very intently for 2.5 hours listened to my story very patiently, just like this, listening to everything that had gone on. And I was very impressed that I am very grateful that the court that I was in was very just and very fair and listened to everything. And during that time, I started a Facebook group for those that are fighting for custody of their children. So and I have included in that group all the information that I supplied to the guardian ad litem to help others that are fighting for custody of their Jehovah's Witness children. And saving the best for the last, just last week, on Wednesday last week, we went to our final hearing, and the judge awarded me primary custody of our son. So the judge determined that what my son is being exposed to was substantial enough to remove him from a home with his father that he had lived for 13 years. And he's an honor roll student in his school, but yet it was so much that he decided that it was, yes, definitely time to change custody during that. One of the things of evidence that was presented to the judge was a recording of an 88-year-old woman talking to my son for 45 minutes, telling him that he's going to go down at Armageddon if he doesn't study the Watchtower, and if he doesn't stand up to his mom and start going to meetings and that sort of thing. So yeah, I've only really woken up since January 2017. I knew it wasn't the truth, but I had no idea all of the horrible, just dark things within the organization until then. But yeah, now my son started school on Thursday here in our school district, and he's super excited. I'm extremely excited for him. He can finally have a normal life. He's never had friends his entire life. Not the Jehovah's Witnesses, they shun him. He's been marked as bad association, so he doesn't have friends there, and he's never been allowed, of course, to associate with anybody that's worldly. So I'm super excited. He has a lot going for him. So, but yeah, there's my story there.
Incredible.
Wow, I'm speechless, and you are an incredible mother.
Oh, thank you very much.
To know that. I mean, wow, that's an incredible story, and I'm so glad that you went to the extent that you did to do that research and to actually go through with, doing the most that you could do for your son, and that really shows where your heart is, and also helping other parents that are trying to seek custody, because I know from the stories that I've seen on forums and stuff like that, it is really difficult to get back custody after you've lost it to someone who is.
Yes, that's so true. But the history is really, the exposure of the Jehovah's Witnesses, I believe, is really helping the courts. Plus, it's a new age. Back in the 1980s, the judge wouldn't have heard anything that I had to say that opposed the organization, because the Jehovah's Witnesses were just a different branch of Christianity. It was just a different denomination. And they did not understand, nor would they even consider the idea that maybe there was something darker behind the scenes that they had not yet been presented, and they were not willing to listen to it at that point. Now is a new day. If people are trying to get custody of their kids, I believe that now is the time to do it. There's so much on TV, on the news broadcast. This is one of the main things that really woke my son up, was all you have to do is Google Jehovah's Witnesses and click on the news tab. And I assure you that there's something in there that will make you doubt the organization. And Stacy's on.
Hi.
Stacy, we've been trying to
Hi,
get her on.
Stacy.
Hi. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm glad you did.
Y'all are in bed with me, and I made it romantic.
I was gonna say, she's all like seductive. She's like,
Well, I don't have a couch.
I don't have a kitchen table, so we're all good.
I'm in a basement, so
Oh, nice, but it looks like a nice background.
yeah, it's a tarp. It works.
So I think it's official. We can't ever have any blondes on the show. Straight brunette. Sorry.
Is that racism? What would you call it?
It's colorism.
I finally got my wine, and then it's in a Smirnoff jar.
Ooh.
Perfect.
What kind of wine? What kind of wine is it?
This kind. But no, it just.
Is it under $15? Because like
I don't know. Actually, that's my ex's. And I just opened it.
Then it's a good year.
Yes, drink the whole thing.
It's free. It was free.
Oh my god. I've never had such bad wine as the Memorial. Here's Stacy, but it was. I think it was Manischewitz, but
I think we should.
I didn't get any wine because Asher drank all of it, but I got that nasty bread. It got stuck in my throat.
Did you guys partake in a memorial? Am I missing out on something?
Yes.
Oh my god! Yes.
we crashed it.
Oh my god, that's badass. How did that go?
Were we?
Like 20 or 30 memorial crashes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Kudos.
Stacy got like beat up. Everybody got beat up but me, I think, actually.
Got beat up?
Well, you got like pushed and stuff at the memorial.
Did you get
Oh
mobbed?
yeah, they bullied me out of there. And I didn't even say anything. They just they saw me recording. They were looking over my shoulder, and they noticed I had my phone out in a suspicious type of way, and so they came and asked me to leave because I was recording. So
Man.
I stood up and said, "Jesus wouldn't shun people," and then they surrounded me, and a fire marshal came out with his badge, and he's like, "Don't make me arrest you."
But he was like,
He was a JW.
Jacket off. I did the crash in the Bronx, and not one person like came up or anything.
Oh, that was amazing. I still can't get over that. You were able to get your whole message. You took a drink for like every person you dedicated it to, and everyone just listened. That was like
incredible.
No, but I walked
couldn't even-
myself out. I was like, I have nothing more to say. I guess I'll go.
I got it. I was so envious. that you were able to pull that off. And I got
I was so envious. I
thrown
had
out
a
by
dream
10.
that happened to me, Maggie, afterwards.
You had a
I
dream?
put my whole family in my dream, and we all shared how horrible the Watchtower was to all the Jehovah's Witnesses.
That's
It was
awesome.
great.
So next year we're all crashing the Bronx, apparently, because
Bet.
Yeah, because they'll let us say what we need to say. That's
yeah.
how it
Let's
should
bring
be.
our own wine in case they try to like kick us out.
Yes.
We'll just pull wine out of a bag and toast all around.
My full plan was to lay on the floor like a toddler if they touched me. I get to do it.
Curl up in a ball.
Just like go full like Stuart from Mad TV. I don't know. That reference, but just like lay down. Oh, I'm not looking at the chat anymore. Is there any questions for us now that we added Stacey?
Oh yeah.
Whoa. Oh, Zeb was on. We missed it.
I'm out of beer. I'll be right back.
Nigel Raleigh said it's Stacey with her aggressive apostate legs. I don't know what that means.
My prostate legs. Because my last video I was in shorts.
Oh. Oh, okay.
It's hot.
Nate needs a Moscow Mule. I'll have my friend steal you a cup. No problem. Does anybody have any questions for Stacey? Are you Native American?
I do have my Native American card, yes.
Okay.
I'm official, or I'm registered Karuk tribe. I have like 6 tribes in my family, but registered with Karuk, which is Northern California based.
That's amazing. Awesome. T said, was it he at the
Sausage.
in San Diego asked if I was Stacey Lopez? I think that was Veronica, actually.
Yeah, Veronica. We were laughing about that because we have, you know, completely different hair color, different skin color, different heights, but they still asked her if she was Stacey Lopez.
Somebody Balls Deep is just wrote, "I'm here for you, ladies."
Balls Deep.
Well, Chessa's got to reach around, so we've got Balls Deep now. Nate said, "Thanks for coming by to say hi, Stacey." No, we were all amazed at that every brother was like, "Are you Stacey? Are you Stacey?" Like they were gonna freaking do a citizen's arrest on you or something.
Yeah, it's so creepy. I guess that's like that was so weird. I had
we should all go in next time and be like, "I am Stacey."
Oh, that's gonna be that.
Stacey, step forward. Everybody, step forward.
There you go. That's my sign for London.
I am Stacey. We have come for you.
It's so creepy. I wonder what they were gonna do. Like if I was there, what they would have done. Just ask me to leave.
All claim to be Stacey.
What's that?
We will just all claim to be Stacey. We'll find
out.
And they'll be completely confused.
Yeah.
Well, the real Stacey Lopez, please stand up. That was so funny. Does anybody else have any questions for Stacey?
Stacey has little balls. They do.
Did Chessa peace out?
Chessa's
out. She's like, I'm done. Oh gosh, I don't see any other questions.
Don't worry, that evil organization will soon close its doors. Yeah, yes. I kind of don't really think that they will, but I think that we can definitely cripple them pretty good, and that we can save a lot of people and a lot of families. But as far as like we're always talking about bringing down the whole cult. I mean, they'll just go underground.
Yeah,
you know,
they'll just become TV evangelists.
Right. Yeah. Just like Scientology. I mean, I feel like they've been completely just crippled, but they're not going to go away, you know, completely. I don't know, maybe because cults, are one of the qualities that were what do you call it? The I can't think of words. One thing that makes a cult is that it's short-lived. So,
well, the other thing about a cult, what makes it so dangerous, is the fact that what makes their membership grow is the children that they have that they continue to indoctrinate. So
yeah.
that's why I believe what we do when we're cart crashing and Kingdom Hall crashing is so important, because the kids, especially the young adults and teenagers, my son, I guarantee you, if somebody come up in a Kingdom Hall and told them to Google the Australian Royal Commission that there were, child sex abusers that were being hidden in the organization, that kid, when he goes to school, gets on his, school provided iPad or Chromebook or whatever the school might provide for them, they're going to Google that. I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Especially if they had doubts.
Candace said, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
Oh, Candace said we should all have t-shirts that say I'm with Stacy. And
Yes.
Sandy said, I'm imagining the apostasy superhero. I'm gonna be Stacy for Halloween.
You're making me have a big head now.
I'm gonna be Stacy for Halloween. Just watch.
I could probably do her hairstyle.
I know you
could.
could.
Look like it.
Well,
it's close.
Do y'all remember that article that came out encouraging women to avoid being busybodies by having children?
No.
You don't remember that article? It came out a couple of years ago.
No, I think it was already out.
God, it was a legit Watchtower article. It said, oh my God, I gotta find it now. I don't know where I'd find it. But yeah, so they were saying that women need to have children, and that's basically pushing the whole, they're having trouble indoctrinating people, so they want you to have kids so you can raise them as JWs. But it was really horrible, because imagine how many women can't have kids or chose not to have kids to wait till the new system and all this shit. And then they were telling us women were to avoid being meddlers or something like that. Oh my God, I gotta find that. It was
please do. That's ridiculous.
I'm gonna step away for just a minute. I'll be back soon.
Okay.
I feel like you become more of a meddler when you have kids. Like, you're so bored. Your kids, you're like, what's the new gossip?
Yeah. See, meddling.
I remember all the ones about the Jezabel spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Those were always my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Trisha says she remembers it.
Oh, really? Okay. So I'm trying to find it and trying to keep up with the live stream. I'm always multitasking.
I haven't looked at all at the live stream. I feel bad.
Nate is bad association wrote, I think I'm worldly, down with the tower. The great apostate and myself are going to start a boys ex-Jehovah's Witness YouTube live stream, since you ladies don't have any ex-brothers on. You could call in. What's your
throwing shade?
Yeah, damn.
No boys allowed.
I'm sorry.
Please.
Listen, nobody suffered like a woman in the organization. No, I'm just kidding. Women and elders suffered the most. If you were an elder, you suffered so much. I'm just kidding, Nate. You can come on. What's your email?
Yeah.
We'll bring you in.
Get on here.
Oh, he said he's at work. Okay, next week.
Yeah.
Totally. We're doing this every week, so. King of Faders brought up a good point. That video would have 10% more brain. Brother Hurd told me so. Because our cranial capacity can't hold what theirs could hold, so.
No.
Yeah.
Cover your head.
Do you want me to bring you on tonight or next week?
Where
are you?
I'm not seeing what y'all are reading.
Yes. Linda said, jumped on late. They were asking Allison, actually, Allison Wong, if she was Stacy. Allison was yelling, I'm Chinese. Do I look like my last name would be Lopez?
So let me turn that down.
Sorry.
They were asking her too? Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's so weird.
All right,
I'm so
Nate,
glad I didn't
it's
go.
on. Oh, I wish you did. Well, for some reasons, I wish you went.
That's so weird that, like, why? I think they had one of those letters. Well, I don't know if the letter was actually from, you know, the Watchtower. It's probably from just some random JW.
Yeah.
But they probably had one for me, just like they had for Zeb.
Yeah. Okay. So Nate's going to be on next week with us. Poor guy. We'll see what you're drinking. It's been a bit of a giggle fest, but all in good fun.
All right.
Any other questions? Oh,
They do, Nate, have a wanted apostate list. That's what I heard from Adrian. He found out, or he confirmed it, that they actually do have a database of apostates. And it makes sense because there have been many times where I'll go up to a cart, especially on campus, and I've never met these people in my life, and they will just shut down and look straight through me with these, like, fuck you eyes.
yeah.
And a lot of times, they're looking down at their phones and they're looking at pictures of the apostates to watch out for.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is it like on an app or something, or how do they get a hold of that information?
Something
well, Warwick,
secret.
They were taking pictures of us at Warwick. I'm still my second crash. They were watching and waiting for me because they shut me down the minute I walked up and they were taking pictures of me.
Yeah, they'll take pictures and record you. So they're obviously doing something with the pictures and the recordings. So weird.
Huh.
But I love it when they record because they're so stupid. They're helping our activism. So I'll usually start saying my apostle message to their camera. It's so funny. It's like I had one brother recording, and I was telling them to look up the Australian Royal Commission and all this shit. And then another elder came and he told him to put the phone down.
Oh my God. You should just flash them. Just be like, they can't use it then.
Did you say flash?
Yes, flash them.
Yes, she did.
I could probably get in some legal trouble.
Teresa said they're adding your face to porn. That's what they're doing. Well, nobody wants to see the schnozzle.
Rule 34. Do you think there's a pasta porn out there somewhere?
Oh yeah. If
Probably.
not, it's gonna be tonight. Our faces are gonna be all. Listen, my idea last November was to do an apostate calendar, just all us ladies.
I'd be down with that. A pasta porn with a pillow.
Oh my God.
That's what I want to do for London. I just want to have a pillowcase that says pillows need love too.
Dude,
Oh,
they
I
have
was like,
those,
wait, what are you trying to do in
You
London?
should get like a waifu pillow and then just like attach it to yourself and wear it to the protest.
Feel like it's humping me. I can't. I just have to.
You should just give it out to all the brothers. Just be like, here.
Nate looked it up.
What did you look up, Nate?
He looked up porn, I think.
No.
Apostates can't leave home without it.
Can we make governing body porn? Nobody will watch that.
Your face and can you superimpose it on a pillow? Could we put Let's face on a pillow?
I was just gonna say that would stop all the pillow.
I would never masturbate again.
Oh my God.
That's what they need to hand out in Bethel.
That's true, Teresa. They want to turn us all into brothers. But then who would be submissive to those brothers? They have to have somebody the low totem.
True.
Totem. Oh.
A pillow slip.
I love that that's the freeze frame it went to. It was like Stacy.
I didn't even make any noise, did I?
No, it was just the camera went to you and you were like. Candace said my face on porn would be the most action I've had in years. Second that.
Well, get out there and do something.
What am I going to do? Well, everybody says that the protests turn into orgies anyway.
I know, but they hope it does.
They
like to think
their fantasy. London's literally going to consist of the three of us sleeping on park benches.
I know.
Do you have a place to stay? Like, do you have all that arranged?
Some of the nights.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Except for the first night. Maggie.
So if there's anybody out there that wants to put me and Stacy up.
Wait a minute. No.
Oh, good. Then we're going to get.
No.
Strike that.
We're going to be, yeah.
Tessa
No,
will
Stacey.
vet them, or Stacy will vet them, or somebody other than Maggie will vet them.
Oh my God. Honest Conscious Dave said, I hear pillow slips are the new high-tech field service time slips. Did you was in for inspection? That's so gross.
Oh, God. I haven't heard that word
When
in
they do the
years.
DNA
Time slips.
inspection.
Oh, God. Triggered.
Well, the way I've been dressing lately, I think I'm ready to serve with Anita's grater.
The need is always greater.
So bad. Anybody else have questions before we end this? Because I'm getting way too drunk to do that.
That's when it really starts getting good.
Question.
Yeah, that's
This is where it gets good.
Ask the drunk apostates.
Ew.
He said
Gross.
they've been doing blacklight inspection.
Gross.
Message retracted.
I was gonna say,
We caught you.
Nate, it was that bad, huh? Oh, of all the governing body members, which one would off themselves first once the shit hits the fan? I think
Tony,
but Stephen Lett.
you think
He'll be the dumb
I don't
fall
know
guy.
any of
He'll
them
be like,
well enough.
Samuel Hurd.
How do
he
you
has
all
some
know
more
them so
incriminating
well?
bullshit.
See, I never knew a lot about Samuel Hurd. Like, I know he's a misogynistic asshole, but I never knew like much beyond that. I think Tony would. I think he's super emotional, and I think he would just be like, you know, what do you do after that? What follows up tight pants?
right.
How do you follow that?
Pillowgate does.
The token black guy. Samuel Hurd.
Oh, that's
Token black.
That's so fact. I miss the good old days when we knocked on people's doors, sweating in our tights, and didn't know the governing body.
I don't.
That was me. Everything changed. I left in 2013, and I feel like everything was changed like right after that. I mean, there's the carts, the JW broadcast, the governing body becoming pop stars. Like what? Oh, the website. Yeah. I feel like all that stuff happened right after I left. It was so weird. Like everything just changed completely.
Yeah,
Candace said,
honestly,
call the brand.
2013 was when I started doing that too. When I started like reading up and there was more out there.
Hi, Lori. Miss you.
Oh, I love Lori. Aw. Yeah, you have to watch from the beginning. It's hilarious.
I still need to catch up because I was busy ransacking my house for a corkscrew.
I have like
I
7.
actually had to go to the store and get one while you guys were talking.
That's dedication.
Candace said, call the branch and tell them you need convention accommodations, get a discount. We actually did that in California. Veronica and I totally got a discount. And that's how we started talking to a woman at the desk that was a Jehovah's Witness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you guys end up getting a room under that?
Yeah, we got the 15%.
That's dope. That's super dope. I recommended that there was somebody who was going to come from out of town to Pennsylvania, and I told them about the discount, I was like, you
Yes.
should totally use the discount.
That's
I'm
so
glad it's been done. Yeah.
You know, I didn't really contribute a whole lot. I always felt guilty about it, but now I'm really happy I didn't.
Yeah.
I never brought anybody in. The only study I had was my sisters, my little sisters. That was it. So
I had a few Bible studies here and there, not real good ones, but I actually found an old return visit book when I was going through my old crap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like I kind of have half a mind to just send apology letters out and like apostate
Aw.
information, and I don't know if they'll still be there. It was like 12 years ago, but I mean, whether they are or not, it would be good unwitnessing work.
Yeah.
Oh
I
wow,
feel
Lori
bad.
brought in 9.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible, Lori.
Yeah.
You
A
were
little
such a
jealous.
great witness, Lori.
Did you get him back out though? That's the question.
Now the work starts again.
Yeah. That's amazing. I convinced one of my best friends to pioneer, and I think she's still a pioneer. I feel bad about that.
Aw. Honest conscious Dave. Nobody's asked at all. They just all assume. They all assume that I'm just mentally diseased and just am bitter and hate them. They don't give two shits about the message. It's really sad. Like I've done so many crashes already, and not one person has taken me aside and asked. Like I think the only one that we've had so far was that police officer in Warwick. Like the police officers, well, any of the police officers that we come across was part of their job, but as far as Jehovah's Witnesses, they never have.
Have you done crashes in your local area, like with people that you knew?
Yes. Oh God, I was doing a live
How was
one.
that?
I almost ended the live stream just because I panicked. It was a girl I went to pioneer school with.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so she had no idea I was an apostate. She had no idea that I was even no longer a witness. So she was like, "How are you? How have you been?" And I went with it. Everything was friendly. But then once she started realizing, because I told her, I was like, I'm not a witness anymore. And I told her why. She kind of started, like, her smile turned to like, and she's kind of backed up a little bit.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, well, it was nice to see you. And I'm like, no, I have time to talk.
Oh, man.
So I talked a little bit more, but it was so sad because you really got to see her change. Like 1 minute we're like, oh, it's been so long. How are you? And then like, oh no, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go crash my hometown congregation. But the other day when I went there, I actually saw an elderly sister who used to be this. She was just such a sweetheart, and I saw her in the grocery store. And I don't panic that hard, even when I go into Kingdom Halls to crash them. Like I panic so bad just the thought of going up to her to give her a hug, and then like being rejected by somebody who I used to know really well. And so I think that's going to be really hard, but I'm going to do it eventually. Like. Go to my home Kingdom Hall and figure something out. But
I haven't done it yet, but like I've been thinking about it. Like it's so crazy that it's all erased. Like you see those people and you feel that connection that you had to them. And I'm sure they feel it too, but like none of it counts anymore. And it's just this, it's weird. It's just this weird feeling,
Yeah, it is. Cause
like you spend days and days and you talk to them and it's really intimate. Like I feel like Jehovah's Witnesses get really intimate with one another because you're always in each other's business. So like know them, and then it's just gone, and it's devastating.
It really is. Like that, they were my whole family. So I didn't have much
Wow.
family, but I also kind of just walked away from my family for my new family, my JW family. I got rid of everybody, my old worldly people. I just got rid of and replaced them with the JW family.
Yeah.
And it was just so easy for them to just,
Were you born in, or did you? Because I don't know a lot about your story. I'm a newbie, so.
Oh, hi newbie. I kind of got both worlds. So like, because my parents were kind of raised in it, but never really took. So I was raised with the beliefs, but but I also got to enjoy like being worldly. So I got birthday parties and things like that. But then we would go to meetings or conventions every other year or so. And then whenever I was 18, I like really was vulnerable and got taken in by that sense of community. And because it was a hard life at home. And then so like being around people who wanted me there, it was a good feeling. And so I just always loved being around everybody, get-togethers, even going out in service. I hated the door-to-door, but I loved walking down the street with somebody and getting to know them in the car group every time we take breaks. So I was like, I thrived off of that social interaction. And so when that, it was really hard hit because then I was completely alone.
Yeah.
How old were you when you became a Jehovah's Witness, Stacy?
When I became a full force JW I was 18. Yeah. So.
Wow. That's incredible because that's like just the cusp of you becoming like who you are.
Yeah, like your own person. Yeah.
That's incredible. They got you right at the optimal time.
Right, exactly. 'Cause I was just starting to go to college too, and I was getting good grades, and then I ended up dropping out so I could pioneer. And then I rushed into a marriage. I was 18. I rushed into a marriage, and people say, "Oh, you're an adult. You made this decision," but I don't really think that's true. I mean, if you're lied to, you're manipulated, love bombed, I don't really think you have a choice because you feel like, oh, you know what? I think they have the truth. This is right. This is what I need to be doing. It's not like you think, should I join this cult? Yeah, I guess I will.
Yeah.
Nobody really does that. You just get sucked in. And so I think even people who join the cult at a later age, I don't feel like that they should be blamed for, making that choice. It's because if we had a choice, obviously, we probably wouldn't be like, no.
I used to serve in a lot of need greater places. Like I would serve in Asia, and I would also serve with like the deaf and hard of hearing. And to see people who didn't really speak the language fully, or people who didn't really grasp, because it's really hard. Like I know ASL is like it's a budding part of Jehovah's Witnesses. Like there is stuff out there, and there's a lot more now, but it's still up and coming. So like a lot of deaf people do not grasp the concepts of it at all. And I think just for people like that who they really don't get what they're getting into. And that was also another waking up part for me, because you have these people, there's, people in Asia who go to an English speaking congregation because they want to learn English. And then they're like, well, why wouldn't I want to get baptized? And then they don't even speak the full language of the material that they're presenting to the door to other people who want to learn English. And it's just like this whole like thing, But I think it's true with a lot of stuff, that sense of community and that sense of being lied to and being it's kind of like the tattoo thing. Oh, well, you can have tattoos technically, or you can have a beard technically. And then once you're baptized, the hammer comes down, Yeah.
Exactly. The hammer. It's like a trick, like, haha, sucker. And then, then they.
Just kidding.
We got you now. Just like a marriage.
Yeah.
That's marriage right now.
That's literally what my ex-husband said to me on our wedding night.
Oh,
I have you now. Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah. A little bit.
Have you ever watched So I Married an Axe Murderer?
Yeah, of course. I love it.
Kind of like that.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's Mike
really
Myers.
Cheesy. Yeah, it's a really cheesy 90s movie.
Yeah,
but it's pretty
awesome.
Great. Yeah.
That's great.
Sorry, guys, we're missing a lot of the life.
I know. Somebody asked, what do we think of Woman of the Nag? I think she's incredible. I think she's out
the Nag.
Okay. Yeah. Are you subscribed to her channel? She's out there like every single meeting, and then elders came and shunned her at her home and like talked to her husband, who's not disfellowshipped or anything, and told him to make her stop.
I heard about that.
Oh.
Yeah. She's incredible.
Mhm.
I think she's coming to London, Stacy.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, wow.
She's
I'm so
awesome.
excited about all the people I'm going to meet there.
Oh, right, Nigel. Her name is Vicky. I'm super, super excited to meet her. I'm gonna fangirl over so many people.
Not Nag, Ning.
Oh, Ning.
Oh, I think I've seen the name, but I haven't seen the story. I really need to look into that. That sounds.
I'm a woman of the nag, so
I'm a woman of the nag.
just ask my kid. Oh my goodness. I think the person I'm gonna fangirl the most over in London is gonna be Derek O'Hare. I think that's gonna be
Oh, I know.
definitely gonna have to file a restraining order over his selfies I'm gonna take.
He's going to have a restraining order on Maggie.
He's gonna be like, oh, another selfie. Call the police.
He'll be framing your restraining order notice from him.
I think he subscribes to my channel. I'm so sorry I said that. Maybe he.
If not, I'm going to try and contact him and tell him to go to this part of the video.
Just like Stacy and I have a few people we're gonna run from. He's gonna run.
Oh, God. Yeah. We're going to watch each other's backs.
Yes. It's gonna be the three amigos. Just hanging
You're
out.
making me look like an alcoholic.
You're already 2 behind, so.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, she does. She definitely has balls of steel. Wait, lady of the Nang, not Nag. Did we lose Chessa? She fell asleep.
No. I was looking at the light.
You put your head down. And I was like, oh, she's gone.
No, I'm not that drunk. Man, I wish I had more than beer. Now I'm drinking Bud Light. My reach around is gone.
Your reach around.
She's done with her reach
Finish
around.
the reach around.
No wonder. This is 5%. This is basically Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I'm going.
Would you
through
get
it.
Walgreens?
Wine I've ever drank. Huh?
It's definitely from Walgreens.
What a cheap ass.
If I ever get invited back, I'm getting some Jameson or something, and it's really
Yes.
happening, like for real.
in Pennsylvania. We'll
Yes. Oh, that'd be amazing.
We actually had Jägermeister at the protest in California, and I took it out of my bag because I was tired of holding it. And that's right as I'm pulling it out, the cops pulled up, and they get out of the car and they're like, "We see that green bottle," and I'm like, "What?" I like Heineken too, honest conscious Dave. Oh God. This is an hour past my bedtime, Stacy. I don't know what to do.
It's like 5 hours before my bedtime.
Oh my gosh. You got anybody else have questions before we wrap it up?
Maggie keeps trying to go to bed.
I know.
Not it's just gonna be like
You can totally do that. It's totally acceptable.
well, Chessa has a baby.
She's asleep.
Oh, how's your baby?
She's like 17, 18 months old. I always forget. I'm not good at guess December. She was in December. So 17, 18 months. But she's incredible. She's already like a 4-year-old. So
Aw,
Yeah.
sweet.
yeah.
Oh, so you have to look through the rest of the video. She said, "Who is the nice lady drinking Bud Light with the wall hanging behind her?"
That would be me.
She gave her whole story, Chessa.
Yeah.
Oh, Candace isn't on Facebook, so she might not know your whole story.
I'm glad you think I'm nice.
You are nice.
Oh.
Yeah, so you'll have to rewind the beginning.
Yeah, you'll have to rewind, and then I might throw a link in just so people can see the page or whatever and know more of what I'm about, because I'm kind of a newbie. So, I don't know.
What makes you a newbie? Sorry that I missed half. I hope I'm not asking the same questions you guys have already talked about.
No, it's fine. I'm not technically a newbie to like the XJW community. I took a couple years off though. I left in 2015, and then I came out with my story in the Inquirer a month ago, 2 months ago. So as far as like being on the apostate scene, I'm
like
rather,
activist.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
I don't know if you saw it. Mine was the one where my dad wrote to Stephen Lett.
Oh.
Yeah. And then
Well, no, I've
Stephen
seen the pictures of it and stuff. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I am the apostate lie, I guess. That's apostate driven lies. I thought about making shirts like somehow.
Ooh.
Like
we love apostate shirts.
That's good. I think I have 12 apostate shirts now. It's bad.
Dude, I don't have any. My friend
Me
bought me
neither.
a Cult Survivor bracelet, and it was super sweet. She
Or a
ordered
hat.
it from JW Merchandise or something like that. It's super cool. I loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll bring you some, Stacy, to the protest.
Yay! Actually, Trisha is sending me one.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I got this hat too.
I'm jealous. I need that.
That might make next memorial a little bit different, though.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Ooh, that would be a neat social experiment. Oh, I might do that. Like, I might just wear this into a Kingdom Hall and just see what happens.
Oh man,
That's
it's really explosive. Do it in an area where they don't like know you yet.
Right, that's what I was thinking too. That would be so fun.
We all are gonna have to pay Stacy to do like a worldwide apostasy tour.
Dude, we should book you.
Exactly. Here, Stacy, can you crash my mom's hole?
Isn't that kind of what happened with Zed? People were like trying to pay him to come to their halls and stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
That's so cool. This could be a good career.
There you go. You're good at it.
A worthy cause.
Oh, did you just break something? Or like shattered glass.
Somebody's had a few too many already.
I thought a coin was getting tossed in a bucket, and I was like, well, there we go. There's already
Someone popped another top.
Oh, it was Amelia. She just popped another screwdriver.
That's not how you make a screwdriver.
Just open it.
You don't use a screwdriver.
That would be boring.
Honest Conscience Dave says, your story is incredible, Chessa. I long to hear any acknowledgement of responsibility from any governing body heavy for these crimes and an apology from them. I know it seems like a pipe dream.
It does. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how to like approach that whole thing, because I do have some ideas, and like if anybody has any more, like send them to me. But I'm all for ideas. But I do like want to approach Let in a certain way, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. And I've had some offers, but I'm trying to figure out how to do it the best way. But I do think that, you know, especially since Let was the one who brought my dad into the organization, to the truth, he should be responsible for that. Like if you witness to somebody and they come in, you feel responsible, right? Like now that you're out, if you had a Bible study, you kind of feel like, man, like maybe I should say something. Or if you had a Bible study you brought in and then their kid was raped like 10 years later, you'd probably feel a little bit bad about that, or at least try to do something about it. And the fact that none of that has been acknowledged other than like a few paragraphs that he sent back, you know, to say that we're, as pioneers, you know, going to pioneer school, you're supposed to have personal interest in someone. You're supposed to gain knowledge into their background. You're supposed to form a personal relationship with them. And then if something like that happens to their family, to just be like, you know, oh, this next upcoming convention will be great for your family. It doesn't connect. How can you be a governing body member if you don't even give a shit? You know?
Right. Well,
So-
I think that's like the first step to being a governing body member.
Probably.
How unattached are you from your normal emotions?
Right?
From what I've heard of from other people who have known Led, especially before he was a governing body member, he was kind of wonky anyway. So probably contributed. Yeah.
Great Dane was asking, can you please share each
other's channels. I can link them under the video too, but I'm the Apostate Family. This is my channel.
And then what is Chessa's channel? Is it Use Your Voice? Is that correct?
I don't remember.
She's had one too many beer.
No, I really
Or reach
don't.
around, one of
I
the
really
two.
don't. I changed the name like several times. It's supposed to be Use Your Voice. It might be Chessa M. But on Facebook, if you look up Use Our Voice, the Rat Associates or whatever on Facebook, I'll be posting a link there as soon as we get off because I really don't remember the name of my channel. I only have 2 videos and I've wanted to do more, but I accidentally deleted my Windows Movie Maker thing. And so I can't edit videos and I'm horrible unedited, obviously. So I'm looking for a different video editing program before I make more videos. But there will be more on the way. So please sub and also follow my Facebook. I'm a lot more active on there. And as far as the PA protests and everything coming up with UOV, I'll be definitely posting more to Facebook than my YouTube for the moment, basically.
You are super active. You're so good in Messenger too. I'm like the worst.
I try. Like Messenger is obviously like the best way to reach me. I'm never on Reddit. I feel really bad about that. I'm never on Reddit. On Reddit,
Yeah.
I'm Rat Association. I'm never.
I don't even have a Reddit.
Really.
I'm bad at it too. My butt deletes me from groups too because I don't know how I got kicked out of your group.
Yeah, and I tried to add you back, and it was like this user, blah 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 blah.
This user, but
Did you ever get back in?
no.
Okay, well we'll have to figure
You
that
just
out.
tell me. Just tell me.
Yeah.
Just tell me when to be in Pennsylvania.
I'll have to screen cap it. I'll have to send updates or something. I don't know. Now I am.
And Stacy is of course Stacy Lopez.
Yes, I was trying to think of something more clever to change my name to, but by the time I got to that point, I just left it.
You are who you are.
I have a different name on my social media. That way, people still find me, but it's not as easy for them to find me. And the only reason I say that is because there's some big time haters out there, like Jehovah's Witnesses and sympathizers. I actually had I had this person I just know is the same person come and find me on Facebook 4 times, like we're 4 different profiles, and I always know that it's the same person because the way they talk is really bad English and they use the same words, and they'll ask first, they'll say, what's your problem with, I've seen you harassing the JWs, and then sometimes they'll say, oh, they'll ask about my sexuality or random questions. And I'm like, I know who you are. And they always say the same thing is say what? And then, are you talking about? Like I have 4 profiles saying, what are you talking about? That's how I know it's the same person. And then I just block. But it's so weird. There's so many weirdos out there,
You do get horrible comments.
Yeah. I've had fucking rape threats and death threats, and it's just kind of old now. At first it was a little concerning. I'm like, oh my God, but now it's like, oh, I'm getting used to it.
Yeah.
The only bad comment I got so far is you look possessed.
That was sweet, right?
I
was like,
haven't gotten any. I'm kind of jealous.
You will. Give it time.
I hope
You'll
so.
get there.
I kind of need that in my life. I need that negative reinforcement. That's what drives me.
I think Stuart gets the best hate.
Definitely.
I have to say.
Yeah. With beyond a doubt. I love the videos he posts where like witnesses will come up and like know him and be like, "Hi, it's good to see you again," but it's totally sarcastic, you know?
Yeah.
Those are the best.
This cult member doesn't even understand. I'm not talking to them.
I love it. He's like, observe the cult members. Doing this or that.
The Pacific Northwest.
He's like my guilty pleasure. Like, I don't know if I could ever be as like blunt and direct as he is, but like, man, if I could be,
You'll get there. You'll get there.
I don't know. Like, I have this like inner conflict because it's like there's different forms of activism, and I don't want to be someone who turns people off that tough, but at the same time, I really, really want to be. So, yeah, like,
I think it takes
him. He knows these people going way back, and that's the difference. Yeah. Like for me too, going up to Jehovah's Witnesses, a lot of times I won't know them, so I won't be like super mean. Well, I'm never really super mean, but I can imagine going up to somebody I know who's a total asshole and standing there acting all self-righteous. I would probably be a little more aggressive like he is.
True.
Yeah. So, that's true. I think that's definitely a big factor in his bluntness towards some of the JWs.
Yeah.
Adrian too. He's like scary blunt. He's like,
I know. He's very brave, like super brave too.
There was this when we were doing the protest in California, there was this homeless guy just hitting up T. She was trying to on the phone, I think with her daughter, and he would not leave her alone when she was on the phone. And Adrian just went and verbally smacked this guy down. I just stood there with my mouth. I was just like, I wish I could do that. Like, I cannot be as aggressive as you. It's amazing. I'm just like too afraid.
Thank you, Sandy, for linking me. I really appreciate it. Oh, well, yeah. I guess you couldn't. Okay.
I'll try to link everybody in this video.
I have, third glass. Well, third bottle, rather.
I'm slacking tonight.
Honest Conscience Dave says their definition of harassment equals just asking questions, ridiculously paranoid, but it's because their house is built on sand. And that's so true. Like, I've so many times, like, actually, one of my cart crashes, I said, why aren't y'all talking to me? And they're like, because you're harassing us. I said, how? And then they just kind of like stopped and like they had no answer for me. Like, how am I harassing you?
Ask them a question.
Because you're talking to us and we don't want to talk to you.
Disagreeing. Any disagreement whatsoever.
Because you're talking to us and you're disfellowshipped or dissociated. I don't know what I am. I could be either of those.
Really?
I still don't know. Yeah.
Did you write a letter?
No.
But
they came to my house and they just flat out asked, because I asked them to give me some time because I moved congregations. And I just asked for a little bit of time. They said they'd give me 6 months. And then, but instead 2 weeks later, they were back at my house. And they said, do you even want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore? And so I answered, no.
Yeah.
And they said, okay. And they shook my hand and left. So I'm like, okay, What does that mean? Did I disassociate or did I get disfellowship for saying no? Like, but they wouldn't announce it. They announced it. Yeah, right? They announced it the same. Yeah. But like I had the reason is because I said no to their question. Like, where is that in the Bible? And I ask them that every time I go to a cart. They don't believe me. They're like, no, that you can't get disfellowship for not wanting to be a Jehovah's Witness. And I'm like, oh, fuck, hell yeah, you can. Yeah. I'm living proof.
Did any of us write like a super crazy, awesome, like a disassociation letter?
No.
Because I didn't. Mine was very blasé. I was just like, leave me alone. Basically. Yeah.
Ooh, Veronica did a really awesome video. I loved this video so much. It was hilarious. She called the branch. Actually, she called the branch office in Mexico. And she made it sound like a fucking book club membership. She wanted to end her membership. She wanted to get her files back. And she's like, I just want to cancel. She said, I want to cancel my membership as a Jehovah's Witness. And they were like so confused. Like, you know.
I mean, really, it's a publishing company, so that's honestly the best I've heard of. Yeah,
it really is a book club. But it's so
So
brilliant.
Columbia House. I want to stop my monthly VHS.
Yes.
I love it. No, I was disfellowshipped.
Oh,
Sinner.
I
Yeah.
was. I left my husband.
Good.
yeah, I'm proud of you. He sounds like a real dick.
He was a winner, let me tell you.
I'm pretty sure all of us
They
have
always
been.
are.
Yeah. Yeah. All of us had winners. That's for
Oh
sure.
God.
Oh my God.
How you doing, Amelia?
Good.
She's falling asleep.
Yes, honest conscious Dave, that's true. You really have to start switching up your techniques because it gets boring after a while. Like with me, you know, they stop talking to me every time I walk up there and it's so boring. So it's good to switch things up. Next time I go, I'm gonna bring a big sign and just stand next to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do for that would be really funny.
Get a sign with an
You should
arrow.
be like, I'm
that
with
says,
Wait.
They protect pedophiles.
I was stupid.
Well, I made a sign. I made one already, but I haven't used it, and it's getting pretty dirty now. My daughter, my youngest, has drawn all over it with her crayon. So,
Aw.
Hey, girl.
She's bringing the art into it.
yeah, I'll still use it.
Yeah.
I said,
you should do one
asked me
I'm
why
not. You should do one I'm not with cult member, and then just have it with an arrow.
right, or observe the cult members
Yes.
ignoring me.
Where it's gonna like come out with a video 2 weeks from now.
He runs through the sign like the beginning of a football game. Just like. He's another one we have to pay to travel.
Yes,
I wish he could come to PA. That'd be amazing. That's too bad. I wish you could all come to PA. That'd be awesome.
maybe we will.
Yeah.
We're
Stacey
traveling apostate.
never
Do it.
stops traveling. Stacy goes like everywhere.
Get over here.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. I've traveled so much this year. It's so freaking like I love it. I don't
Yeah.
want it to stop.
We're gonna try to do next year.
Yeah.
I demanded one tropical place that we have to crash. That's my only requirement next year.
What's that?
One tropical place.
Oh,
I said,
yes.
I said Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii. Yeah.
And Dave says, I love Veronica's conversational approaches she's done. Really starts peeling off the layers and knocking down the board dominoes. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good. The way she talks to people, like somehow she's able to keep people talking to her. Like she talks about it so innocently that they don't realize she's an evil apostate like the rest of us. So they're like, you know, they actually have a conversation with her. Whereas like with me and all of us, or a lot of us, they just start saying, what's your intentions? Well, I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yeah. I like Bridget AZ too when she does her calls. Oh my God.
Who's that?
Bridget AZ. She's never been a Jehovah's Witness, but she just calls Kingdom Halls all the time. She's incredible.
Who is that
that's
again?
cool.
Bridget AZ.
Okay.
I'll send it to you guys.
I like
Amelia's going down.
There's another activist who's never been a Jehovah's Witness, and he's done calls to Kingdom Halls asking to buy them. It's so funny. It's hilarious. It's brilliant because then they're like, oh, well, let me get you to the right department. They keep sending him and sending but they want money. So they're like willing to actually discuss it.
Serious?
We have to link all of these in this.
Yeah. You're gonna have
I love all our activists. Everybody's just awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that we have somebody in every corner, like every which direction. That's why it drives me nuts when people comment on my YouTube video saying this can't be very effective and we need to be doing it this way instead. I'm like, we are doing it that way also.
Yeah.
We're hitting from every angle, every direction possible we're taking.
Yeah,
In the
there's so many
chat.
different flavors. It's like, you know, I I get it where some people don't like crashing, or some people don't like the alternative, which is like talking really, really long and
Yeah.
and adding a lot of honey and being really careful. Like there's something different for everybody. And
Exactly.
I think that like the more of us that come out and start speaking, the more people are going to wake up. And I just think like no matter what you do for activism, we all speak the same language because we all have that similar background. And so I think that's super awesome that we can all get together and like powwow it out, you know?
I think something that we all underestimate is the power of speaking to our social groups that we're in. You know, I talk to my friends and coworkers at work and explain to them what's going on within the organization and that sort of thing. And I think that the more that we just talk about it on a regular basis, that it helps, or maybe it just helps us look crazy, one of the two.
It'll be both. There's literally nothing you can do where it won't be both.
I get so much messages, man. Like it's like some people are like more power to people I'd never expect are like, you know, keep doing what you're doing. And then there's people that are like really close to me that are like, there's no point to this. And I'm just,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. But they don't know. They're not in it. They're not the ones getting the emails, the success, the proof of success. And that's what is annoying to me too, because like, okay, you're sitting here saying that, but you're not doing activism, so you don't know that we are having success.
Well, and I think for a lot of people, the bottom line is money, because I'll have people ask me all the time, because I just moved like across the country, and they'll ask me all the time. They're like, well, like, what are you doing for work? And I'm like, but I am looking for a job at the same time. Like, this isn't only about money, you know? And like, I have had my GoFundMe be successful, and I've even been able to sponsor other survivors to be able to do their stuff in a limited means, like, because people are willing to give out. And I still think that's awesome that the community has, not of XJWs, even just the community as a whole, people are willing to like help sponsor people to get education or to get out or to do more activism. I think that's been an amazing response. But like, it's not about that, you know, there's so much more to it than that. And like, yeah, I'm sure it's really hard for you to travel all over, you know, monetarily. It's hard for everybody that's doing this work, but it's about so much more than that. You can't boil it down to a dollar sign, you know?
Exactly. Stacy has like 12 jobs and goes to school. So
yeah,
for some of us, it's just what we have to do.
Yeah.
Like it's not, we're not trying to make money off of it.
Right. Yeah.
Not anybody who does, because hey, if you figure out how to make a money, I can't talk, make money that way. That's incredible.
I mean, for me, it's just like with my situation, I would not have been able to get to that press conference or meet Barbara if not for doing that GoFundMe. And then Romy getting to the ICSA conference, I was able to help her with that just by doing the GoFundMe. I didn't help her as much as I wanted to. But I think that's great for people to see. Like, I know it's really awkward for me to ask. It's really awkward to do a GoFundMe. It's really awkward to talk to people about it, but at the same time, like being able to see the public support people who are wanting to get the word out, I think that that's really a good reinforcement for survivors that they're not alone out there and there are people who want to help support them.
Well, I think that was what was the most shocking for me, is that how supportive everybody was, because we're not used to that support.
Right.
Everybody offering help, just somebody to talk to. Like, you can reach out to anybody at any time and you're going to get somebody to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's so incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I lost connection for a second. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But I want to read y'all something.
Okay.
This made me cry. I got a message from this lady. She says, "Hi, Stacy. My name is blank. I'm going to keep her anonymous. I live in blank. I've been watching your videos for a while and just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for doing what you do, because I don't have the guts to do it. I suffer from extreme anxiety thanks to my upbringing as a JW and my constant battle with trying to keep my relationship with my family. I just wanted you to know your message is getting heard on the other side of the world. And every time I watch your videos, it gives me clarity that I have made the right decision to not follow in my family's footsteps and not be a JW." and she talked a little bit more, but like those messages, it's mega motivation.
That's what
Because
does it.
sometimes, you know, yeah, people say, oh, if I was still in and I saw that, it would make me think this is the true religion. And okay, you know, we go in there, there's going to be people on the fence. There's going to be people that fall deeper and people that fall out. But they're looking for a reason to fall in or fall out anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I see it. Like the people who get sucked in deeper because they see us crashing a hall or crashing a cart, they were looking for a reason to jump in deeper already.
Right.
So we want to save the people who are wanting to get out. And then when those people who are in deeper begin having doubts again, they're going to remember us. And that's how I see this activism. There's so many good parts to it.
Well,
Like,
it shows them that they're not alone, because, you know,
exactly,
you feel so
like
isolated. You're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to talk about your doubts. So when you see people out at the forefront of it, like you guys are, who are being champions for it, you know, it makes you feel like you're not alone, and it makes you feel validated. And I'm sure that's something that a lot of people who are still in haven't felt for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. And because they told me when I was leaving, they said, you know, it's a cold, dark, lonely place. You'll come running back.
Yeah.
The world will chew you up and spit you out. Like, at least this way, they know that they see us out there and they see us interacting with each other, and that you know, we're a big group of friends, that we're not alone. We're not, you know, out there like in a scary, well, yeah, it is a scary world, but it's scarier inside the cult.
Yeah, I think it was lonelier in there, for sure.
Very, very, very.
Yeah.
Because out here, I mean, you're loved for who you are, and in there, you're only loved if you meet their standards or you match them. And there's something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, something I didn't expect to come from this kind of activism was bringing XJWs together. Like, I was thinking about the Jehovah's Witnesses and the non-Jehovah's Witnesses. It never crossed my mind that we would be helping actually be helping ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, because I've already met many ex-JWs around the world who thought they were completely alone, and then came across our videos and they reached out, and then now we're in like a community. And this one lady in France, she called me crying her eyes out, you know, that she hasn't talked to her mom in years and she was completely alone. She tries to explain to her friends why she hasn't talked to her mom, and nobody understands it. And she thought she was completely alone until she came across our video of Warwick. And so she reached out. I brought her into some of the support groups, and she went to a Christmas party that her coworker invited her to, the very, very first one ever. And she made a live video opening her first present. She was crying, and then I was crying. I think everybody was crying.
Aww.
So it's like, it's amazing, because you're not just helping, you know, JWs and spreading awareness, but you're also helping former members, you know, and it's really amazing, all of the success we've had.
That's incredible. Great Dane asked me, I asked about your relationship or lack thereof with your parents. I'm guessing that's for all of us. My father died refusing blood, and my mother no longer speaks to me or my daughters. And my sisters, my nieces, we don't have anything to do with any of them. Well, they don't have anything to do with us. So, yeah, we don't have my father's side of the family, but they're not very close. So, what about you guys?
I lost my father when I became a Jehovah's Witness. He was a very devout Southern Baptist, and my mother has passed away, so I don't have any parental type relationships.
What about you, Chessa?
My I was hoping you wouldn't. My parents are I wouldn't say estranged. It's very complicated because we battled this whole thing the entire time, and my parents have both written letters to Bethel about it, and my dad's actually out now, but my mom is still in, and I know that they both fight a lot of cognitive dissonance with it, but my dad and I, are somewhat, it's complicated, but I know both of my parents love me very much, and my mom still talks to me. But I think the more I continue doing this, the less that's going to be. It shifted more from her wanting to like hang out with me to her wanting to hang out with my daughter because it's, easier, which I think happens with a lot of those relationships. But I think they're still trying to hang on. She hasn't completely let go yet, but I always have that in the back of my mind that is going to happen someday. And a lot of my other family has dropped it. So I'm shunned by most of my other family. It's just basically my parents that I still have. So.
Nice. What about you, Stacy?
My mom passed away was about a year into 19.
You're breaking up.
Oh, baby. Okay.
We're not laughing at you. We're laughing at us. You're really breaking up. I'm sorry.
Oh, it sucks.
Do you want to try? Wait, are you there?
I'm here.
There
Okay,
you are.
there you go.
Yeah, it's better
Okay,
now.
hi.
Okay.
Okay. So she believed that Jehovah's Witnesses had the right religion, but she just wasn't strong enough to join because she loved holidays and she was scared of disfellowshipping. So, but she passed, when I was 19, and my dad, he was.
Oh
No.
we lost. Oh wait, she's coming back.
Okay, there you
Okay, good.
go. That saw me all sad that I lost connection. My dad was raised as a JW, but he, I don't know, it was weird. He never became one. So I don't know how that he pulled that off, but so I talked to my dad. He's a sympathizer though, so he doesn't like to. I don't talk too much about my activism. He doesn't like how they treat disfellowship members, but he respects them and sympathizes and and whenever I tell him anything about my activism, he's like, well, sweetie, you shouldn't hold on to grudges and blah 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 blah. Oh God. So I don't really talk a whole lot about my activism to him, but we have a relationship, so.
That's good.
Yeah.
The last time it was when Bella had surgery, and she just talked to me long enough to get Bella's phone number, my daughter, and then blocked me. So,
Oh my God.
but the last thing I
What a
sent her was
bitch.
I sent
Sorry.
a whole bunch of clips of the Australia Royal Commission, so I figured it was coming.
Wow.
That's fine. So you just see your family at funerals. That's what's sad.
Yeah, that's true. Although I don't even know if I'd get invited to that. So
I wouldn't now.
Yeah.
I think when my mom passes away, I don't think I'll be invited for sure.
yeah. I doubt that too. If I see, I really doubt it. I'm not really close to any of my family that's in anymore, and even the family that I have that wasn't in was never in because we had so much distance because they were worldly, quote unquote, when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Now it's still not. It's not there.
No. That's how I am with my cousins.
Yeah.
They live like an hour and a half from me, but when I go there, I'm like, I don't know you guys. Well, I'm sorry that I missed out.
Yeah.
Very sad. But I have all of you guys, so that makes me happy.
You make your own family.
We do. And
We make a really awesome family.
We do.
Probably better than if we had never been in, which is weird, but I mean, I hate to think all the years I wasted and all the things in life, I threw away. But then again, I mean, I wouldn't have met you guys, and this activism is so fulfilling, and maybe we enjoy life more now than we would have if we'd never been Jehovah's Witnesses, because I mean, like holidays, tattoos, anything sinful to JWs is so freaking exciting for us now.
Yes.
Well,
Oh my God.
I can't speak for everybody, but
yes.
like,
I put up my Christmas tree right after Halloween.
Yes, yes, and it's really so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Life is much more colorful than when you're at JW. Your JW is so drab, so dry and colorless.
I had completely lost my sense of humor as a Jehovah's Witness.
Yes.
It took years for me to get that back.
That's what I'm amazed all the time, that we all have such like dark, sarcastic humor. I'm like, where?
I used to hear a dirty joke and have nobody to tell it to. It sucked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I do want to eventually like either write a letter or make a video to the governing body and just be like, thanks. Like, I have all these people now. Thank you. Thank you for like making me lose my family and like gain so much, and just be able to enjoy every day and not worry about Armageddon and all that bullshit. So
Yeah.
Eventually it'll happen. I'm very unmotivated. But I think we should keep doing this. Like,
yeah, definitely.
This is very good. We've had a lot of negativity lately, so I feel like we needed.
we can flood it. We can drown it out with positivity, positive stories, and dirty jokes.
Yes, and alcohol.
Lots of alcohol.
Most importantly, alcohol. Well, when Amelia and I kind of came up with this idea, that was like we both like agreed instantly, like it's only positive. Like we have to just like have people on that are super positive, and because you never know who's watching. So
yeah, exactly.
To think that it's only fighting when you come out, because that would have fun me out. This would have fun me out. Just a whole bunch of fun people being dirty and drinking alcohol.
Exactly. It helped loosen up all the potential activists and potential, people coming and joining our community and, ex-cult member world. If they see that, they don't have to be like walking on thin ice, and that we're relaxed, and we see the good in people. And obviously life's not all rainbows and unicorns, but we have to be positive for each other, and and see the good intentions in people.
Yeah, for sure. Like I talk to Stacy and Amelia almost every day. And Chessa, now you're screwed, but I'm gonna talk to you every day. But like I feel like, yeah, it's like it's horrible to say, but like I replaced my sisters. Like you have that sense of like family again, and I hadn't had that for so long, and I just made do without having that. I mean, no, that's horrible because Dana's on here, because Dana's my sister for sure, but nobody understands what we do. So
yeah,
right,
very different.
Guys, I drank this whole bottle and I'm not even buzzed. I went through all of that trouble with the damn cork for practically a soda.
There's so much of this left. This is like fake. Like I try to look so classy. Like, oh, I made a Moscow Mule. It literally says Moscow Mule. Oh, Maggie's having a Moscow Mule. Look how posh she is.
Yeah, next week we're all gonna have to like stock up.
Yeah, we're about to make a beer run out of this too.
Yeah.
Our show is gonna start with like recipes, like so you squeeze the.
That would be cool. You can make your own pasta drink.
That would be so fun.
Yeah.
But it has to have. It would be cool to like make sure that it has some kind of apostasy tied into it, or blasphemy or something. To kind of go with the theme of the show.
We can make them like spells.
Jesus wine or, something. I don't know.
You could do an a cocktail for every member of the governing body and add like, really ludicrous things to it. But I don't know if I'd want to drink it.
No,
I know, right?
It would just be like Kool-Aid and arsenic.
Did you say arsenic? What'd you say? Arsenic? I'm hearing
Arsenic
all these horrible words. I'm sorry. These are not like...
Well, I'm pretty sure my original idea to Amelia was a book club, and this is so much better.
Yeah, just don't let the feds get a hold of it now that we were talking about arsenic and arson.
Of course.
And chainsaws.
Of course.
Oh, chainsaws.
Oh, yeah. That was the first question I was asked. It's wonderful.
Right.
Oh, that's so bad. And we're over here talking about how, positive talking and...
Yeah.
Hey, man, you got to address the angst sometime. I think everybody should just drink more cocktails. I think that's...
Yeah. That is definitely the recipe to get out of the cult.
I don't know. I know a lot of drinkers on the inside.
My ex-husband loved the beer. He did not drink it out of a champagne glass, though. I think that was
classy. That's the class that comes with apostasy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With your like Wiccan thing behind you.
I know. I'm just the ultimate heathen, aren't I?
With all your tattoos.
Yes. Oh, there was a comment. There was one. I got one thing of hate, and it wasn't even hate. Somebody commented on the Philly article. Well, she's got tattoos, and we know what that means. And I'm just like,
what's that supposed to mean?
Enlighten me.
Did they enlighten you?
No, I was the only one that was showing was a picture of my dead dog. So I was like, "That's my dead dog." Thanks for noticing.
Let's see. She was in a cult and she has tattoos, so we know she can handle pain. Both
I had one similar. Somebody said, "I bet you have a tramp stamp too," and something about I should get a 666 tattoo. Yes. No, I said that. Yeah, I said, I should get a 666 tramp stamp because he was like, Satan loves you, and. Oh, it was so funny. Like some of these trolls just make me laugh.
That Beelzebooty.
I have a topless mermaid on my back, and every time I'm out, they always think I'm a lesbian because I have a top.
That would be a great name for a drink, an apostate drink. The Naked Mermaid.
Yes.
The next stream will be called... I'm telling you, it's going to be called Maggie. It's going to be called. Okay. What'd you say? Topless mermaid? Naked yes. Naked lesbian mermaid?
Lesbian mermaids.
Oh my God. We're going to have to figure out how to do this from London.
Yes. As long as we have Wi-Fi, we can do it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Are you bringing your laptop? God, too much. We have to get Amelia her first tattoo.
Yes, I've been trying to
getting a GoFundMe.
I'm doing it. Get your Pinterest ready.
If not, we get to pick
name.
I still have to get my Warwick tattoo.
Yes, you do. Warwick,
I'm slacking.
Ours so far.
And Chantel.
Everybody thinks that I'm from Canada. I'm like, why do you say that, eh? What's that about? A boot.
A boot.
A boot. A boot. Oh, it's so cute. Spotting all the Canadians saying a boot. And a when I went to Canada. But then they were making fun of me for my accent.
You don't really have one until you say y'all. Hey, y'all.
Apparently, I say pin and hen and all that stuff wrong. They actually go to the trouble of saying hen. Huh?
Are you a Southerner? I didn't know that. I honestly thought you were from Canada. That's right.
Oh, really?
It was the maple leaf.
I live in Texas.
Yes. She's Texas.
I'm Texas.
I lived in Texas for a while.
Me too.
Where at?
Yeah. Dallas.
Oh, I wish I lived there.
Yeah.
5 hours from there.
I hated Dallas.
Where did you live, Maggie? It was somewhere close here.
Waco? No,
Oh, yeah.
right. It was right outside Waco. It was
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
know
We moved
anybody
a week
from
before that
ASL?
happened.
Did you know anybody from ASL?
We saw him in the grocery store all the time. We
Because
moved a week
I
before
was
it
with
happened.
ASL in Dallas, so like we hung out with Waco a lot.
What?
Yeah.
That's
I lived in
crazy.
Dallas when I was younger. We all have Texas
I have
in
family
common.
in Waco.
Yeah. I want to move back to Texas as soon as I can. I love Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I know. Convince my daughter, and then we'll go. My accent only comes out when I say daughter, water,
Water.
and mirror. I say mirror all the time.
Mirror? Like mirror?
Look in the mirror. That's the only time Long Island.
That's adorable.
Yeah, oh yeah, my shirt says y'all. See? My shirt says y'all, and the L are boots.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, that's so Texan. That's awesome.
God, you guys are awesome. All right, I'm falling asleep.
Maggie, I'm not gonna let you go to sleep early when we're in London.
I know. I promise I won't. I have to work 10 hours tomorrow.
I'm gonna be like sneaking caffeine pills into your drinks.
Well, 10 o'clock our time is going to be like 3 o'clock their time. So I think I'm going to be good. Everybody, yeah. But waking us up is going to be tough. Because it's 5:10.
I'm bringing my caffeine pills.
Okay.
I want to get that jet lag stuff that Dwayne was telling us about.
Yeah.
Get some like water pills too, because you're gonna swell up after being on the plane, most likely.
Really?
Great.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's just better to have because you don't know. Like if you sit on a plane for a long time, like get up and move around the cabin if you can, or if you can't, just bring some water pills.
Oh well, I mean, I live in Lubbock, so I travel at least 5 to 6 hours every time I go anywhere. So I'm
even to the grocery store.
San Antonio. Yeah.
Stacy is awesome. She's flying all the way from Texas to New York to fly out with me.
That's awesome.
Yes, I'm so excited.
I know.
You have to fly back to New York sometime because I'm not that far away from New York. So we should like all have a get together.
Yes.
Yeah.
I say we should get together in New York.
Yes.
We should. We should.
Well,
I love New York. Oh my god.
Is anybody interested in doing Warwick again this year?
I am 100%.
I'm in.
Okay.
100%.
Let's do it.
I know Joel was talking about like the 26th of October, and if everybody does that, like I was gonna organize some like actual
hors d'oeuvres.
Organize.
Lori Watts in the chat says that she's interested too.
Oh, awesome. Oh my god. Lori is like
yes. Oh my god, she was so much fun. Yeah. I wish we did hang out longer.
Lori and Joanne. Like I stuck with them the whole time because I didn't know
They were so funny.
So sweet.
I have to work early in the morning, ladies.
All right, me too.
Okay, I don't, but that's okay.
I'll stay over here. I'll go to sleep.
Love you, Lori.
I love you too.
Thanks everybody who stayed on with us. How long were we on?
Oh, thanks for having me.
Almost 3 hours.
This was so fun. You guys kept me company because I don't have my kids tonight, and I have nothing to do. Well, I have plenty to do, but I don't feel like doing it. But this was so much fun. So
Stacy has the cutest kids ever.
They're sweet. They helped me do activism for the very first time.
I saw that was cute.
Oh.
All right, so we have more stuff to talk about next week.
Yes.
All right.
We will do this often.
Good night. Yes.
Good night, everybody. It was nice meeting you, ladies.
Love you all so much.
Love you too.
Love you all.
Bye.
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 Bye.